Welcome one and all to an SMZ3 randomizer race against NDIAZ and Hypez's Nova. Did I say that right, Cheese?
You can just call him Nova.
Okay, and Nova. And with me tonight, the Cheeseinator as co-commentator, and as our tracker, Sandrez. I knew I'd butcher that name. I'm so sorry, tracker. Oh, it looks like they're about to get started here shortly, and this is supposed to be a really good race.
Yeah, this is the last stage of the plans, or sort of the initial group stages of this tournament. It's in a format based on GSL, where there are groups of 4 that play each other. It's kind of double elim. If you win 2 games, you're through. If you lose twice, you're out.
Oh,
And they're going to be
starting.
off in just a second here. So yeah, winner take all goes to brackets here. Loser will be done with the tournament for the year. So they're both 1-1. And if you're new to Super Metroid Link to the Past Combo Randomizer, it's a great game where both the 2 games are smushed together. They start at the ship, Zebes, and they immediately go to this portal, which is kind of a useless door. I think it's a map room.
Yeah, I thought it was Zebes.
Yeah. Zebes, Zebes, whatever. And they come out of the fortune teller house in Link to the Past, so suddenly we're in a different game. And we see progression in the Dark World.
I did see it.
Cool.
Oh, mitts.
Yeah, so
gloves.
that
Depending.
pair of gloves, ooh, and a power bomb in the house. So that pair of gloves means that we're going to need Dark World access plus flippers plus mirror in order to get that. So if the other glove and hammer aren't available, this might already be hinting at an Agassiz.
Yep, they got to really grab onto that situation that the glove is right there.
Yeah, they're going to need to take hold of their futures.
Of course.
So we got tree pulls happening here. Different results for each of them. Hype's got $20, NDIAZ just a couple of hearts. They're both aggressively going straight into the uncle, juking past the guards here. You get some free magic potions, and you can sometimes kill the guards with the pots for freebie like drops. Not much though on uncle.
I really hope this is not one of those hour and 30-minute seeds without a sword, like I commentated with Eleanor. Me and her were just waiting for a sword to show up, and we couldn't. It was just one of those things.
Yeah, swords can come really late in combo rando because there are redundant ways to kill some of the bosses in Link to the Past, and also just the way the items are strewn about, you might not necessarily need to kill those bosses early. So I've had seeds with like go mode swords 1 and 2 in the past.
Ooh. Hyper Nova. I'm just gonna say Nova because I'm gonna butcher the first part of his name, and I'd feel so bad.
Yeah, Nova's good. So, and speaking of that, he's going over to do a Houlihan. So we got a little bit of early game divergence here.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I've seen like the Houlihan play in most of my seeds that I've watched and or commentated. One runner will go Houlihan, the other won't, and NDIAZ is getting some bombs. And we get some little bit of live in the Thieves' Hideout.
Yeah, the implications here. So there are 3 bombs in Lost Woods, which is a traditional check before you go to Kakariko for the first time, and there are 3 walls you really need to bomb to make a clean route your first time through Kakariko Village. So that's pretty fortunate for NDIAZ, who did not start by getting any rupees. But Hypes is going to be able to go to a bomb shop and buy bombs, whether he needs them or not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and NDIAZ does not have any money for the bottle vendor, so hopefully he makes a profit ransacking all these chests.
Yep, if he doesn't get any out of the chests right in Kakariko, you might see him farm, say, Blind's Hut to maybe get an extra $30, but there's usually going to be at least like 50 rupees in here to help you out, plus all the rupees under the pots. Looks like bush crabs are just hearts today.
Yep.
Oh no! A fetch quest!
Do you want to go on a fetch quest?
That's ominous. Whenever you see a fetch quest on a like long late preview like that, like AGA for you don't know what.
Mm-hmm. And NDIAZ picking up some cash inside of Blind's hut, which is good.
Yeah, he should be all set. Hype's visiting a room which I'm not sure what it actually is in Rando, if that's the vanilla room or what.
I don't know. I've never seen it. Actually, I've like random door entry. I've seen people like with their fancy little maps and charts and stuff mark it off of what that room actually is. I have no idea what it is. If anybody in chat knows what that random room in the more bombs, convenient.
Nice. Yeah.
If anybody in chat knows what that little room is in Lost Woods, it's just a gambling game. Oh, a cape.
Okay, so Cape is the first sort of progression-y thing, like that kind of points us in a direction. We were talking earlier about how that glove being behind Dark World access means AGA is a possibility. Cape also points to that because Cape gets you through the laser door that's guarding AGA Tower.
They still need they don't need a sword, which means we'll find the swag net. We will be able to take down AGA with a swag net.
You can beat him with the bug net, but in combo rando, it's never the logical progression. You always need at least one sword for AGA in combo.
It should be though, since it's possible to do it. It should be in logic.
Swag net kills.
You know, there's a moon portal.
Okay, as chat says, AGA intensifies. So that's our biggest thing so far. That's one of our 2 orbs we're looking for, the Moon Pearl and the Morph Ball. Those open up the biggest chunks, respectively, of each of these games.
Mm-hmm. I missed what was at the bottle vendor.
I think it was an E-Tank at Bottle Vendor, but Kakariko seems to have been mostly full of like ammunition and E-Tanks and stuff for SM, aside from that Moon Pearl and Cape. We're getting a little bit of stream lag from Hype's Nova, and
I didn't see that.
Rupees on the library there.
Oh, it was so quick I missed it. And NDIAZ is going for the classic check before doing, see if it's worth, and it is. He's just going to leave that heart there.
Seems reasonable.
Yeah, it's sad when you leave a little bit of love in the dark.
So NDS, he's well armed with bombs. He's got 13 because we got some early capacity. Thanks. There actually are fewer capacity upgrades in this newest version, V11 of the randomizer. A few were removed for straight bombs. Same with arrows by our developer Total. And so NDS taking his bombs down to South Shore here after this free check at the dam. He's probably going to go over to Moldorm Cave and try and not get trolled.
Oh, the troll dorms. Poor Link Force, the race I commentated with Eleanor. He got beat up pretty bad by those mini troll dorms.
Yeah, it can be really hard to land your bombs on them.
They had a hammer, and he was trying to hammer them. He had the bombs. He didn't want to waste it. I could understand that.
Yeah.
And then he just gave up and.
Yeah, the hammer strats on mini Moldorms actually are super hard. The hitbox is like very awkward.
With the hammer.
I would rather like maybe hammer the middle one and then use bombs on the rest of them. But anyways, no hammer for us yet. But we are about to see the 5 items that are in here, assuming NDIAZ doesn't like get knocked into the pit and then lose all his hearts.
And we're gonna see bomb strats on mini Moldorm. Ooh. Can't place a bomb in that doorway.
Oh, wow!
Caster
curse. Jeez, all right. He's going to have to make a second trip back there. That lets Hypes catch up a bit, who had sort of the awkward run through Lost Woods and went into a non-required room. Thankfully, NDS only lost 1 bomb in that cave, and he's already opened the front, so he's still well armed. Shouldn't have any trouble. Doesn't need to go restock on bombs yet. Hype's going over there with the same exact amount. He's got 13 to start out. So the Moon Pearl with this routing, this is actually pretty convenient because Moon Pearl enables one of the nice early game overworld minor glitches where once they go to South Shore and probably do Ice Rod Cave, they can head down and do a fake flipper up to the Waterfall Cave and actually get in and check both items. All right, I think he's got it this time. There we go. Moldorm's down.
All right, we got missiles. Missiles. Money.
Stream lag, perhaps. Oh no, it was just a sync thing. Yeah.
Ooh.
Hookshot, that's good. That's good, and also lends more credence to what we were talking about earlier, because once you get into the Dark World, Aga doesn't actually get you many places. Like if Pod is bow locked, you can't really go anywhere. So Hookshot will get us west from the east side of the Dark World over the river to the west side. Ooh, that was nice. 20. Is that the stun prize? Oh my goodness! NDS has discovered that the stun prize is $20. If he wants to farm for Zora, that's going to be a really easy way to do it. Okay, looks like we're finally getting our streams synced up. There we go. They're both. So Hypes is just lagging, but NDS was getting synced up with him. So now they're both at 10:07:89 by my count. About to see what's back here in this Ice Rod Cave check. NDS did not get hit by any of the crabs who would have one-shot him. Hypes picks up his hookshot.
And we got a flute on India's screen.
That's great. So the flute actually changes things, because now the hookshot sounds less like East or West Dark World and more like East Death Mountain.
Well, yeah. Paradox Cave and all those fun checks. Oh,
right.
We're trying to fake flipper here.
Yeah, NDIAZ trying to work on it. It's a little bit tricky to line up without a sword. So there we go. I think he's, oh, no, he wasn't quite far enough left that time. He's got it this time. There he goes. Yeah, it's pixel perfect, but it's not like that hard to move by 1 to 2 pixels at a time as Link if you hold down the button that would be your sword slash. So Hypes takes the flute, opting to go straight back to Kakariko and activate it rather than do any sequence breaks, while NDS going out of logic and skipping the flippers here to go under the bridge and check what this camping man has.
The bottle or the guy under the bridge is money.
$5, not bad. And NDS gets the specific spot on the ledge that you have to jump off of that to get a fake flipper going in reverse. Otherwise, of course, you just splash into the water and you're unable to get out.
And Nova activating his flute. And with this Moon Pearl, NDIAZ is able to do a water walk glitch into this cave safely.
Chat is saluting. The duck is amok. The goose is loose. And we got a map check finally here. Hypes Nova showing us that there are 2 Light World pendants, and neither of them are the good ones.
Yep. Pendant on Hera and pendant on Eastern.
Yep, seen a lot of required pendant Easterns so far in this tournament. It is considered part of that Sphere 1 where like initial progression can roll. But with Death Mountain already open, it seems like we'll probably find something up here.
And NDIAZ is heading to his flute. And Nova, I applaud Nova's decision of going to Death Mountain instead of fake flippering, because following the progression early on, like when there's not a lot opening up to you, I mean, there's more checks doing this play than there is fake flippering.
Yep. And there's something to be said for, Nova is getting dead rocked here, unfortunately. They're very trolly. There's something to be said for saving things like Waterfall Cave for maybe coming in with a mirror from Catfish later, or coming to do your Zora check at the same time with 500 rupees. Anyways, all rise for the Link to the National Anthem, which we're hearing the audio for the first time on NDIAZ's stream. All right. Hypes Nova is in Paradox Cave bottom, and I saw a power bomb, and it lagged out for the other items, so
Yeah,
unsure.
wish could see those items, but it's okay.
NDIAZ
Well,
will probably be there soon, and we should be
oh
able to
yeah.
see. Oh no, he's going down for the desert check. Cheeky. We got 50 bucks on Desert Lodge.
Well, it's a Sphere Zero check. I mean, it's a simple check. You got the flute. You know, it's not. Ooh, that's a quake. That's some money. I didn't see that third one. And we're getting a slideshow. Missed that one, and missed that one. So we know what 2 out of the 3 items are.
Yeah, I was about to say he looked like he was going to the save and quit menu, but we do want to check Spiral Cave before we leave.
Yep.
And nothing on Agina, so no trolley progression there. Not like a space jump or anything. Wink, wink.
Mm.
All right, map check for NDIAZ. Now he's got the info about the pendants. Light World pendants generally means dungeons you'll probably dip anyways because they are shorter dungeons overall. But it also means that there are more crystals in the Dark World, which means the seed will be longer and will probably require more overall Go mode items like medallions.
Yeah, that's very true.
And the pendant layout that we've got does mean bow cannot be on pedestal.
NDIAZ is not heading up to Death Mountain yet. NDIAZ is heading straight into Shalashala's closet, and we got a shield, some money, and some missiles.
Yeah, I like this play. So because Eastern is a pendant here, he can go over. He's gonna, dip into Eastern, but he's probably not worried about ever completing it. So he'll be one and done in this area, and he's clearing out Sphere 1, which is kind of a defensive way to play if you know that you have some sort of experience level over your opponent.
Spiral Cave, didn't see that item.
Yeah, we're slides throwing all across Death Mountain. So NDIAZ making this play into Eastern doesn't have.
And like resetting. Bow. Oh no, never mind. I thought it did. It went black there for a second.
Yeah, he doesn't have a bow or lamp, but that's no problem. A hookshot does help you speed up this dungeon a little bit. It can hook you onto some pots and also onto one of the chests to speed up a check on the right side. So it'll be decently quick. And Nova making the play into escape. All right, first time we're seeing that.
If we see any items.
It looks like his stream's moving a bit smoother now, but yeah, we're probably rocking like 180p over there.
Oh yeah. And the first chest NDIAZ checked is some money.
A really good Eastern layout would have no items on Armos Knights, and a really, really good one would have not even needing to go through the dark room to see the last item.
We got an E-tank, and we got a map on NDIAZ's screen.
All right, that map means we will probably be going as far as through the dark room.
Nova has a sword? Yes, Nova has a sword.
Okay.
Look at that.
By the numbers, that was probably in Paradox Cave.
Yeah. We're just gonna say Paradox Cave because I mean it is a paradox where he got it. Because we have no idea.
Ooh, and NDIAZ, nice room there. So that room that he just went through can spawn up to 4 Stalfoses, or Stalfi, I guess might be the plural. And Nova picking up a super missile there. So that room, if you move in a certain way, you can make it so the top Stalfos spawns outside the room, the bottom one spawns on top of the pot, and the left 2 you don't even see because you throw pots at them before they spawn.
Yeah.
And we have an item on Armos Knights.
Wah, wah, wah. Which means this item that he's going to get is required to have the lamp. Maybe. Well, we've seen the compass, haven't we? No. Well, we might not. Because if it's in the vanilla big key chest, there will be an item in that chest.
All right, just this looks like the single validation arrow down there in Zelda's cell, so not much in the way of progression for Nova, but he does have a sword. So between sword, cape, and moon pearl, we just need a lamp to do Aga, and it's not going to be here in Eastern because you need a lamp to get through this part here logically.
Now I don't understand why India or Nova's heading to rescue the old man
Ooh, takes
and
a wipe though.
boulder into the face. That's not too helpful. I'm surprised they didn't check the high jump, like just pop into the Super Metroid real quick just to check the high jump item. Because it makes sense just to pop in there, shoot the door open, see what's there. Like if it's not worth grabbing, they could just, back out.
Yeah. With this kind
Oh,
of item loadout.
apparently he found a lamp too.
Oh, geez, wow. All right, so somewhere in the slideshow of Hypes Nova 1's progression, we have not seen rather, the lamp and the
A
sword.
sword.
So we have Dark World actually fully in logic to get all the way around to Village of Outcasts, Digging Game, Stumpy, and ultimately Hype Cave if you do the full loop.
Yep. The Aga required seed. Hint, hint,
Yeah.
nudge, nudge.
And
And a plasma beam on the old man.
Wow, what was he doing with that?
I'm surprised he didn't use that to fight his way out. Now, my question is... oh, no, not my question, but I'm going to say something. Both beams, if Plasma and Spazer are found in Link to the Past, those beams are automatically off. Due to the fact if they are turned on at the same time, it causes problems. If I'm saying that right. I'm saying that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So they'll both have to remember to turn it on in their menus as soon as they get to Super Metroid. Yeah, the progression here seems pretty clear cut. We've seen most of Sphere 1 and a little bit of Sphere 2 behind that flute and hookshot here on Death Mountain, and we know there was a glove in the Dark World already, so
Okay.
it seems pretty straightforward. I think both of them should be made. Well, NDS definitely. I'm not sure how soon Hypes will make the call to Aga, but he's headed back to the castle.
All right, now we are gonna officially see what was in Hype Cave, or not Hype Cave, but in Paradox Cave.
Yeah, it's the Hype Cave of Death Mountain.
Well, it's hype because we haven't seen it, even though we've been here. There's our Quake. There's some money. There's some love. So one of these two chests has the item. There's the lamp, and there's the sword.
Yeah, it's a starter pack. You go up here and you're like, yeah, well now I know where we're going. NDS going to attempt this bomb jump here to save himself a little bit of screen transition time.
Oh,
Does not get it though. Knocked down. He was not far enough to the left.
And Nova heading into Aga, hopefully to find his way through the dark.
Yep. NDS had to be pretty careful there to get past those hoppers. I don't quite remember what they're called, but they would definitely have just one-shot him. They're pretty high damage enemies. Nova taking advantage of this hookshot here to kill these guards because he's only got a fighter's sword, and Aga's tower with fighter's sword, 3 hearts and green mail sucks. Captain MD13 in chat says Tektites are the name of those hopping enemies on Death Mountain. Thank you for that. But yeah, it's really important to not die in your when you're going over to East Death Mountain in the early game, because it's actually kind of long to get back to, especially if you just missed Spiral Cave and you're worried that there might be progression there.
Mm-hmm. And we'll be able to see what this item is. Now, I did not see where NDIAZ picked up another heart. He has one more heart than Nova somewhere.
That might have been in the Waterfall Cave. That's
yeah. That was the other. Yeah, that was that other item. Now, is he gonna check escape? Like items are telling him go do Aga, but he still has escape.
Yeah, well, what you can do here is a pretty clean route. You can go downstairs, check the items all the way to the bottom, then death warp back up. Then if you want to, you can even go to Dark Cross and maybe try and go all the way to the back. And then from there, you can death warp again and come back and do Aga if you really just want to one-shot the whole castle tower and dungeon.
A lot of deaths, a lot of dying.
Yep, some on purpose, some not. NDIAZ so far the only unintentional death, but ooh, Nova almost got rocked there by those guards. Finally manages to stun them up. He's working with half a heart here going up Aga Tower. Yeah, as chat points out, we're getting a lot of these stun prize 20 rupees, so that Zora check, whenever we get around to it, is going to be pretty free.
Now, the seed, I think it was me and Eleanor's seed, that it was 3 vanilla items. One was the flippers, the other was Quake, and the other was Shaft Supers. Hopefully that these guys don't find hopefully the flippers are on Zora again, because that would just be hilarious just to commentate another seed with a vanilla item location. That's a major item.
Right. So you can see Nova's experience level here. He hasn't played as much on the Link to the Past side. He came in here mostly as a Super Metroid randomizer runner. He was in the SM Rat tournament as well. And he's having trouble both finding which guard has the key here. Finally gets it though. Kills both of the arrow guards and gets his key to go upstairs. But yeah, that's a tricky room in the dark if you don't know which one has the key.
I mean, I would the approach he's taken to light the torches to see, I would do the exact same thing.
Yeah, these red guards here, I think they take 5 slashes with Fighter Sword. They're pretty tanky, but this hookshot has really just been a lifesaver. There'll be some hearts in the next room if he checks under all the pots, so he should be able to get a little bit more healthy before going up
if
to
he
the
knows about him.
Fight.
Ooh, NDIAZ taking a death warp.
Yep. Oh,
and
but Nova taking an actual death. So
both runners saying high five in the afterlife.
Okay, so NDIAZ does not have a key right now. So if the key is in the dark cross here in the middle of the dungeon underneath the palace, he can proceed to the back for 3 more checks, though I think one of them is going to be the map. If not, then that'll have to be saved for later behind our first glove, which might be that glove that we see in the Dark World.
Well, it looks like NDIAZ is heading towards that direction.
Ooh, and we get the map in Dark Cross, so yeah, this is just going to be actually an S and Q. He's not even going to bother death warping, so he's S and Q, go back to house, and then...
oh no, Mountain Cave.
Okay, alright. So he's going to dip into... I guess NDIAZ really doesn't want to do Aga. So
I wouldn't want to do Aga.
Yeah, it's like there's what you want to do, and then there's what the seed's telling you to do. But he's going to go check out Spectacle Rock. You can see the top, and you can also acquire the item inside, as well as he can drop down into Super Metroid, like you were saying earlier. Check the high jump item.
These are 2 checks that, I mean, Nova didn't do. And that's another sword right there. That's nice to find. And inside Spectacle Rock, we get money. This is a very rich seed.
Yeah, and knowing where that sword is, that's comforting because 2 swords are part of Go mode. You need 2 swords at least, which gives you a Master Sword, to defeat Ganon.
Yep.
There are a number of bosses also that won't even take damage from a fighter's sword.
Really? Do you know which ones?
Okay, I think Cold Stare probably doesn't take it from slashes. Cold Stare might take it from spins. Someone in chat would have to tell me.
Oh, he is 10 or 11 rubies away from having Zora money.
Yeah, they're both just farming it up here. Nova already has 762. Chat, in fact, our tracker, S. Andres 316 says Vitreous needs fighter sword spins in order to deal damage. So yeah, many reasons to want 2 swords. Mirror is going to be a big chase item, as chat also points out, because Mirror now is known to lock both a sword and a glove. Got a question from DoHigh100 in chat. How many swords are in this game? There are 4. In vanilla, you get them from your uncle, from the pedestal, from the dwarves, and from the pyramid fairy. But they can be anywhere in this one.
You get your Fisher Price sword, and then you get an actual sword. Then you get bacon as a weapon, and then some butter.
Oh man, Nova was almost to the top there, and he just took another death. That's been a tough room for him.
And they're saying high five while they're going through this.
Yeah, I'm guessing NDIAZ will get through here in one go. He is pretty well experienced with the combo rando, and knows probably how to take these rooms pretty safely. There are some rooms where you don't have to fight any of the guards. If you move the right way, you can just kind of beeline to the stairs.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I would be in Nova's shoes because I mean, I could play Super Metroid. I'm confident in my skills at Super Metroid, which I mean, like probably tomorrow night or something. I might actually do a randomizer and stream it. I do not know. I probably won't, but beside the point. But I can play Super Metroid really well. But Link to the Past, I played it on the original Super Nintendo, gave up halfway through. My buddy had it, and I turned around and had to watch a let's play of it to figure out what to do.
Yeah, so we got chat pointing out this is a really rough way to do AGA if this is indeed what the seed is forcing you to do with this much energy and this light of a loadout. That said, we do have one item in Logic and Super Metroid and one more that could have been acquired with a sequence break down in Blue Bryn Star at the Morph Ball pedestal and the Blue Bryn ceiling item. So there's a chance, maybe not progression, but there could have been something like a heart container or a mail upgrade down there or another sword. But I think once you've checked all of Sphere 1 and 2 and Link to the Past, and you see that AGA is in Logic, you're probably not making the gamble down to Super Metroid at that point.
Yeah, also, those are pretty long checks. I mean, you could do it quickly. I mean, they got the plasma beam. They can shred through going down to Blue Brim Star and getting that stuff done. I mean, one's requires a damage boost with what they have, and the other is just on pedestal. The other item that they can get which is in Logic technically, is the high jump entry item. That is the other item in Logic. I really wish they would have checked that. I mean, it's not it's not a morph ball check, pedestal check, but it's still a check that is a very convenient check.
Yeah, exactly. Plus, with a plasma beam able to be equipped, you can be pretty sure you'll get in there and shoot the Nova before it tries to flutter away and get you stuck in the room for 20 seconds.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, like you
That's
said,
neither here nor there. We are approaching Aghanim on NDIAZ's screen, and if Nova can make it across this bridge without losing 3 hearts, he's going to be there too. So we'll have near simultaneous fights, and it'll be kind of determined by how many blue balls they get.
How many balls do you think they'll get?
You know what? I'm going to say they're each going to get 4. That's like not too bad, around average.
I forgot what the maximum number it is. I think it's 12, isn't it?
Yeah, you can get 12, super hard trolled because there's guaranteed on 1 and 4, and then it's 50-50 for every other. Like the ones between them.
I'm gonna say there's 2. I want to be nice, even though the trolley commentator that's within my heart wants to say 12. I'm gonna say 2 to be nice.
3-0 score here for NDIAZ already. Nova starting with 1-0, of course. 4-0 for NDIAZ, 2-0 for Nova. So we got the thunder pattern here for... Ooh, Nova gets a blue ball, so he's 2-1. Wow, 5-0. No blue balls so far for NDIAZ, while Nova's already gotten 2.
Yeah.
There's yeah, that's a little bit of a law of averages there coming into play. NDIAZ finally gets.
There's 2. Okay, they're matched on balls. They both got 2 balls.
Well, he's got a guaranteed one here, I'm pretty sure.
That's
no, wait. That was 3 in a row. I didn't know that could happen. I don't run no major glitches or Link to the Past at all, so I don't actually know like what the exact AGA patterns are. A couple of frustration slashes there maybe, or pokes at the wall at the top of AGA Tower there for NDIAZ, but he gets through and he's in the Dark World.
Oh, okay. Also, to point out, now that they have killed Aghanim in the dark, and they have Dark World access through Aghanim, when they say, instead of saving and quitting and choosing a location, the Sanctuary Link's house or the mountain, when they save and quit in the Dark World now, they will be teleported to the top of the pyramid. That's why most runners do not like killing Aga, because it's a lot easier to route to fly somewhere and then enter the dark world through the light world, instead of having to try to find a location to warp back. Or
Exactly.
yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about what we can do now that we're here. So we have limited dark world access, no gloves. Pod with a lamp, if pod is not bow locked, you could actually get all the way back to the dark maze and see a lot of items, potentially up to all 5 in the dungeon.
There's 5.
Yeah, there are 5 items in pod, and they're both making the pod play. Of course, the other more sort of open-ended play is to take that hookshot and go west around the dark world, maybe save pod for when you have a bow.
Mm-hmm.
And a hammer, because yeah, pod requires multiple items.
They have not done a map check. I would like to see, but we'll find out what it is. What?
Yeah, the music will tell us on NDIAZ's screen.
All right, everybody, listen. Oh, there's a map check.
Error 72. We can go west. We just go up with the hookshot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
there's a rock on the left side of the gap with where the river is.
And the green pendant, I think, was Swamp Palace. That's a dungeon right there. Now they can go into and finish. I think. Do you need the gloves to do Thieves Town?
Thieves Town does not require a glove. No.
Okay,
the only
so
thing is that sometimes an item is locked behind the hammer there.
Yeah, I was thinking that big rock does not need gloves, but anyway, they can hook shot across and do that if they really feel like it.
All right, slight adjustment to the progression here. I'm being told by chat there are skull rocks and a hammer peg that are potentially blocking the path north to where you can take the hookshot to West Dark World. So we actually are being funneled into pod here. I didn't realize this was the case.
I honestly think it's in that item in Super Metroid that they didn't check. Like in Death Knight, like in the high jump area, I have that feeling.
But the dark maze isn't bow locked with how many keys we've found here so far on the left side. So I think we're going to be good to go with dark maze.
Now I have to ask you this: what determines if pod is bow locked?
Basically, you clear out either if you have no key in the very first chest, it's obvious, but also if you go through and you don't have at least one key to get to the back, then you can't proceed. But yeah, we've got a spare key here, so we can go back and check out the room underneath of the rupees and the anti-fairies, and then collect some keys and so forth, and go over to the dark maze.
I would like to point this out. Welcome, Raiders, from the SpeedGaming channel. This is an SMZ3 combo randomizer. It just getting really on its way. Welcome,
we got
Raiders.
The runners holding hands here in pod, which is pretty cool. And just to see them so close early on.
NDIAZ is attempting a hammer jump.
It's actually pretty tricky move here. He's doing this because there's no mirror yet, right? And so in order to do the dark maze, if you want to do it in one pass, you want to go backwards. And he's deciding against it, maybe, or no, he's actually still setting it up, but he's got very little time.
I hope he gets it.
Oh, and he beautifully done.
And he sticks the landing.
Yeah, but because he hasn't acquired the big key yet, this might not be the best route. The big key could be on the right side. It could be here in the maze. But yeah, it's like 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. If you come this way, you can at least check the dark maze and go backwards and route out. But then if you get the big key, you'll kind of feel silly because you have to double back.
Mm-hmm. Or do another hammer jump. And a key on Nova's screen. They're doing a traditional check.
Yeah, bit of a slideshow there for Nova, and NDIAZ, I think that might be an intentional death, or maybe he just got locked up between all those Kadangos.
He might. I'm confused.
Sure. Either way, he didn't have the big key. He seemed to
Ice beam. Ice beam on Nova.
Ice beam actually is progression. So Ice Beam opens up the Blue Bryn ceiling, and it also opens up Alpha Power Bombs up Red Tower from the Norfair portal by High Jump.
Really?
Yeah, because you can get up.
Oh,
you
yeah.
can shoot the I don't even know what they're called. The little floating heads.
The Zoomers or no, they're not Zoomers. They're
Rippers.
Rippers.
There we
Thank
go.
you, chat.
Yeah, I don't pay much attention to the enemy names and things in this game. I just kind of go by description. And when I used to play the first Metroid, I thought that the Rippers in that game looked like floating like grandpa heads or something.
And there's NDIAZ's Ice Beam. And there's that big key. Now, I hope we'll, through the slideshow on Nova's screen, I really hope we'll be able to see what's in the big key chest. Where's NDS going?
He's so I don't think he was paying too much attention to his key count. This was guaranteed to be a key over here in the Harmless Hellway, but it looks like it's just a map in the big chest. So NDS wasn't missing anything, but he's still gonna have to go back and check it. So we do have
An item.
I want to say an item right side and an item, like there are 2 items left, I think.
He's just gonna leave that big key chest to Waller. Now, since he saved and quit in the Dark World. Oh, wait a minute. He was in a dungeon?
Oh, so we don't have the mirror yet, right? You need mirror in order for that to happen.
Oh.
Otherwise, you get stuck in the Dark World and look to the past.
Oh, okay. Okay, I did not know.
So this is cool. NDIAZ is making a pro move here. Instead of resetting to ship, he's walking around here because specifically the first thing he wants to do is go down to Blue Bryn. Otherwise, normally you reset to SM and you go to your ship. And I think Nova was making the same play the last time we saw his slideshow update.
And we're going to turn on the plasma. He's going to shut off the ice to make things...
Yep. Plasma makes things go boom. Ice makes things go in your way.
Yep.
Yeah, so 2 items in logic down here in Blue Bryn. Great check. If he doesn't like it, he can reset to ship, go back through the portal, reset to Death Mountain, and then go check 2 items in logic over on that side of the game. But I must say, this has been a very narrow seed in the early going. It funneled you to Aga, and then it funneled you to Pod, and then it funneled you to, like, Blue Bryn. Alright, just missiles on the Morph Ball pedestal.
Gonna check this item. That's just some love.
Okay. This heart container, yeah, like NDIAZ was setting up for the damage boost, but he doesn't even need that right now, so he's gonna reset. That said, there was an extra heart container available for Aga. It was there for the taking.
Yep. Now, I hope that he's going to go back in and go to, since now it's funneling him to go up Red Tower.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Nova hadn't made the Eastern play yet, so he's actually over here now rather than going and making the somewhat narrow checks in Super Metroid. He is here with the lamp, but that doesn't make much of a difference, right? NDIAZ just sequence broke the Dark Room. Alright, so this should be, oh yeah, Flute, S and Q, basically the same thing. They both get you to Death Mountain. As long as he doesn't die to falling cabbages here, he should be okay. And he stuns both of the dead rocks. Gets hit by 1 cabbage though. If he gets hit again, he'll need to S and Q to the mountain cave.
Ooh.
And makes it in. Yeah, chat's pointing out we got a real imbalance here of resources or safety, I guess, in both games. You got 5 E-tanks for SM and only 3 to 5 hearts, depending for Link to the Past. All right, NDIAZ
nice
does
kill.
not get trolled by the Nova.
I thought that was that's a zoomer, isn't it?
Someone will have to tell me. I'm not even sure if there's an enemy called a zoomer, but they all kind of do things that I would call zooming. Okay, Metroid MST in chat says that is indeed a Nova. So we've got the runner Nova on our right, and we've got the enemy Nova on our left.
Gamers are in criteria. Oh, okay. Okay, thank you for fixing my mistakes, chat.
Yeah.
That is why I love chat most of all.
And someone also in chat was a little bit surprised that people hadn't checked Bluebrain yet. It's really uncommon to do so in normal logic early in combo rando because you have so much available to you, and there's only one in logic check down there. And it just takes a while. If you want to keep the item, if it's like marginally useful, you end up having to do a full climb back up the old Torian shaft.
And NDIAZ shooting up towards Spazer. But remembering, oh wait, no morph ball.
Yep. So now it's time to turn on that ice and make use of it, because, folks, I think we have required progression at Red Tower Alpha Peebs.
Wait, without high jump, can he make it up this?
Yeah, this is the vanilla intended way to go up this tower. You get Ice Beam after your speed booster from Norfair, then you come up here, use the Ice Beam to climb this tower, and you get your first power bombs.
I've never done that vanilla. I've always got high jump first before going back up to get power bombs. Like I wanted inside. I mean that's just me though.
Yep. Rocky 2418 in chat pointing out that this is pretty rough early progression. Yeah, absolutely. You rarely see, like, we're very far into this race. We're 45 minutes in, which is pretty deep for this rando. That's about, a quarter to a fifth of the time for most runners, and we've got like crud for items. We can do barely any of the game. Hopefully this is Morph Ball and doesn't send us back to Link to the Past.
Oh, well, the reason why I was confused is because they don't have high jumps. So that's why I didn't know if, like, because, I mean, when you're down there, you go down there and you get high jump. I mean, you have the opportunity to get high jump while you're down here. And ice.
Yeah, in vanilla, the developers didn't intend for you to wall jump anywhere to be your necessary progression. Like, yes, it's taught to you by the Edacoons, but you never have to rely on it. So Ice Beam was the intended way for a new player to climb up that shaft.
Oh, and looks like NDIAZ picked up Hammer at Alpha Power Bombs.
That's right. So Hammer is finally going to open up our Dark World. So that's what folks were saying. That gets us, if you either go south from Aga, you can go to Hype Cave, Stumpy, and Digging Game, or if you go north and west, you can pass by Skull Woods and go down into Village of Outcasts. And yes, having to take the long way around. There's actually a power bomb locked door that's opened up in Combo Rando, maybe in SM Solo Rando, but I don't play that. It's opened up so that you could get up through Red Tower if that was a non-Morph Ball, non-Power Bomb type of progression through there. All right, Nova's just a few screens away from his hammer, so both runners going to be sent back to Link to the Past, back into the Dark World. But we can, without a glove, I don't think we can go through. Yeah, he's making his way back to the Aga portal by the palace, because you can't go through this portal by Hype Cave yet. Actually, takes a death, maybe unintentional. I think he was charging up to kill that blue guard, or green guard. Yeah, probably, maybe intentional. He gets hearts back. He was like 1 HP before that. I've seen Nova practicing this Red Tower climb in his stream recently, so this should be no problem for him.
Yep.
All right, back into the Dark World. We got Dark World music playing for NDIAZ, so we're set for an adventure. We're on Fighter Sword, Hammer, Hookshot, and 5 Hearts and Green Mail. So decent offense, terrible defense.
Oh yeah, but we'll be able to see Hype Cave, and with this, what we've gotten so far, I hope it's hype. I'm
really expecting something good, because there's honestly not even that many checks available right now. Hype Cave is like, what, 40% of what's open? Maybe 33%?
Let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4.
There's got
5
Village
checks
of Outcasts. There. Yeah, Village of Outcasts is a decent chunk. Skullwoods is like 0 to 2.
Yeah. Some power bombs. And we got missiles, money, Money
Oh my god.
and arrows.
For
Oh,
this shape of a seed, that is like the most disappointing possible hype cave I could imagine. Like, what the
oh.
heck, game? You just gave us hammer, and this is what we get as a result. So some folks in chat asking about Death Mountain. Yeah, we could go up Death Mountain and then go west over to Tower of Hera. We don't have a fire source. It might be basement locked, but we could get
Yeah,
up to
we do.
2
We
items
got
there in
torch.
Pendant Hera.
We got torch.
Oh right, duh. Lamp isn't on the on-screen tracker, so it's easy to forget about when they're not currently inside a dark room. Um, okay, so Hera is full clearable for 2 items, but I think Pendant Hera is a long ways off, given that there's more checks to be done here in the Dark World.
Mm-hmm. It's actually completable. And a nope tank on Stumpy. And now Thieves Town is fully completable. Every check.
That's true. Yeah, the hammer did open that up to us. So 4 items in Thieves Town, and it is a required crystal, so you'll probably see them wrap that up while they're in town, unless they're not confident about. And I'm speaking about both runners, about their blind kills on this low of loadout. We have a cape, but we don't have half magic, so that cape's not going to necessarily last you the whole fight. You might have to like squeeze through the third form and try to only use your magic then.
Bumper Cave is within logic.
That's right. Yeah, that's an uncommon one to see early. But of course, if you've come to the Dark World through a Cape Aga, then of course it's free.
Oh, yeah. Money at Dig Game.
Yeah, we don't need any money anymore.
They really need to get a hold of the situation before it gets out of control. Really.
Yep. Zora isn't even in logic yet, by the way.
Nope.
Normally you have a glove by now, but yeah. So we've got all this money and nowhere to spend.
Yeah, and we got what other checks we got?
NDIAZ had to go, so he had to save and quit from the Dark World there because he went west towards the digging game, and you can't get north through there without the mitts. So he's got to go back into the Dark World here, go up and around to get to Village of Outcasts.
And that red guard bullying him. And Nova's gonna go to his very disappointed hype cave. And I mean really disappointing hype cave.
Yep. Chat pointing out also, Neaterific, one of our tournament members, mentions that you do need a glove to get into Bumper Cave. I honestly don't think about these things. Glove is one of those items where you just assume you have it by a certain like time marker or a certain progression point in the game, right? Like going here, so you can't go to Catfish right now. Catfish is guarded by a glove, and there are other weird checks like that where you'll get there sometimes without a glove and be like, why can't I do this? Like Checkerboard Cave.
Well, most seats you watch, they already have a glove.
Yep. And for those who just are tuning in, we do know about the location of one glove. We still need mirror and flippers to get it, though.
Mm-hmm. And I would like to point out, don't forget to follow these wonderful runners, NDIAZ and Nova. They are putting on a wonderful show for us. And he's going to check what's up here, and it's just a piece of heart.
Okay.
And
yeah, I think the cape has kind of already done its job by getting us through Aga, so I wouldn't have expected there to be too much else behind it.
Yep, and it's one of those things that oh yeah, don't forget to follow the co-commentator as well and our wonderful tracker.
All right, NDS dipping into Skull Woods here. This is a crystal, but not something we can complete yet. So he's going in through the front, and he's taking the option to fall down and pass through this set of rooms from the bottom, which is totally fine. If you don't get a key in the chest on the right side from the main entrance, then you need to go to the middle of the dungeon to get a key and come back to open this door up. Just the map and the compass though over here. So getting trolled, he actually has to go out through the Gibdo room with all the spikes. That's no fun.
No, it's not.
Nova is catching up on the Southwest Dark World checks here. He's going over to Dig Game, going to get a bunch of cash. In the combo rando logic, this room is always a key. Some players who play solo Link to the Past rando might have known that the logic has been shaken up in newer versions in like V31 plus to make that possible to be an item, but always a key so you don't soft lock yourself in combo rando. So that's not much. We got a small key and 2 dungeon items. So the middle of Skullwoods might have 1, but it also could be another key, and the 2 items could be in the back behind Fire Rod.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, though, Village of Outcasts, 3 checks Overworld, 4 checks in Thieves Town. That's about all we got left. And then there's Pendant Hera, as we were saying, 2 items up there.
And I hope NDIAZ doesn't get bullied by these Gibdos, because these Gibdos can be somewhat of a pain to deal with.
Oh yeah, they're so trolly. They take 1 million like sword slashes or spins to kill on Fighter's Sword. He doesn't have well, he has a hammer, but again, hitbox is wonky. He doesn't have a fire rod to make quick work of them, and he didn't have Samaria to make the puzzle faster. So just everything going wrong in that room. But everything going right in the back, because he's just taking a death warp. He doesn't care. He's got his morph ball. A lot of Super Metroid just opened for NDIAZ.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I would make the you're here. Make the Village of Outcast play. You're here. It's a crystal. You can do it. Now,
Yeah, that's a good point.
now the siege really on a roll.
Yeah, we've got both of our orbs. So we have 2 orbs. That's like halfway through a Final Fantasy randomizer run. Anyways, NDIAZ, yeah, Village of Outcasts is pretty free if you've got a good amount of magic for blind, or you know the blind script very well to do it with either Fighter's Sword or Hammer. I could see someone putting off Thieves Town with the morph ball being where it was.
Yeah,
just
but you're
because
here
of
though.
blinding hard.
You're
Yeah.
here though. I mean, yes, it's
all about
green Mel.
ability and stuff. Yeah.
It's green now. Nova, he will probably see that morph ball and be like, "Nope, I'm out."
Wait, but it's actually blue mail, because we just found blue mail in Sea House.
Yep. And Mario makes a cameo on that wall. If you notice when you walk in, that's Mario's picture on the wall.
Yeah. And yeah, Sea House has what, 300 rupees in vanilla. It's like one of those. I think all the 300 rupees come from Sea House, and then there's 4 in Hookshot Cave.
Well, we definitely don't need money. That's
No,
for sure.
not at all. All right, Thieves Town, what do you have for us today besides a lot of spooky enemies?
Well, with blue mail, it makes it a lot easier and a lot safer.
Yeah, those red, I don't know, horse head guys, Pegasus Knight looking. Someone in chat knows what they're called. Those things do 2 hearts of damage to you if you're on green mail, but only 1 heart if you're on blue mail.
Chad, that hammer's heavy in this seat. It's like it's one of those giant sledgehammers that have like 100 pounds on the end and more money.
Yeah. Chat telling me those are called Zizaks or Zyzax. All right, that's 2 items down here in Thieves Town so far. We got some missiles and some rupees, so not doing a lot for us. I don't think I expect to see too much else here, given that Morph Ball opened up so many new items. But I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe we've got like an ice rod or something in Thieves Town.
Yeah, I mean it is required.
Meanwhile, the slideshow has unfortunately just like come to a complete stop over on Hypes Nova's screen. His internet is just unfortunately not great. And it's all right. He's in Village of Outcasts update, so he's checking the chest game. We don't know what's there, but he checked it. All right, he's passing by Thieves Town on his way to Sea House. He's going to pick up his blue mail. I'm guessing by the timing of him getting here, he's not been into Skullwoods yet.
Yeah.
We should see chest game after NDIAZ gets out of Thieves Town based on his routing. All right, the Brewer's Basement. What's it got for us?
I want to. Space jump on
that's
NDIAZ.
huge.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
that's Gauntlet. They can do Gauntlet. Well,
yeah, Gauntlet and Criteria power bombs and
so much.
That's also logical wreck ship access.
Yep.
So yeah, so staying in here long enough to at least see that, if not necessarily kill blind, is pretty big.
I mean, it's
Nova,
spin to win.
If he Yeah, he's got to go to Skullwoods. Even if he gets that space jump, it's not going to do anything for him yet.
No, if he's been up there already, but
I don't think he has, considering his stream kind of stopped when he was over in East Dark World, and then he appeared at Chess Game in like less time than it took NDS to get through all that stuff. Space Jump is one of the can flies in the logic for the game. So Morph Ball Bombs and Space Jump, they don't do the exact same things. You know, Morph Ball Bombs, they break open blocks, and Space Jump has a property where it opens an item down in Lower Norfair. But those two things, if you can otherwise move around in the area you're in, so if you're underwater, you need a gravity suit, those items get you through an infinite amount of vertical height to acquire certain items or pass through certain rooms.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, like, Dark World loaded, except for Hype Cave. We can just ignore Hype Cave. And I think that's the second item or the third item. I don't know.
We've seen all 4 items now, and
Yeah,
there's
4
no
items.
key. So because there's no key here in this Thieves Town, that means a couple of things. One is that the well, we'll never check that chest, right? It's the key self-locks, but also it means you logically need the hammer to kill blind. So whatever you, if there's something like a green pendant or a pedestal check or a pyramid fairy behind the completion of blind, that is like a logically hammer required check. So it can never lead to hammer. We already have ours though, so take what you will. If you do find something in like pyramid fairy later, you can say, hey, that was behind the hammer.
Oh, I missed what Blind said. He usually has good quotes.
Yep. Blind Fight is on a script. If you follow it, he'll stay on the top of the screen and make it really easy for you. NDIAZ doing a good job so far, keeping Blind on the top, dodging all these fireballs. He's got his cape out just in case things go awry. Hasn't taken damage yet, and ooh, just 1 hit. So that was a great Blind
I would
fight.
also like to point out, Blind is the only boss. It doesn't matter what sword you have. You could have Butter or even, well, the basic sword. Blind will always take 3 hits during each one of his phases, no matter the sword.
Yeah, I think the only other boss that's like that is Armos Knights as far as respecting sword damage. I think they all do like half a slash.
Yeah, hammer blind strats are not the funnest.
No, yeah, it's got a worse hitbox than the sword. I mean, you're already kind of uncomfortable using a fighter sword for some people because it doesn't have the reach that the Master and Plus swords do. But no problem for NDS. He got through that fight easy peasy, and he's starting a SM in Norfair with his Morph Ball in tow.
Mm-hmm. He's probably going to do a reverse Bryn loop. I mean, I'm not a fan of the reverse Bryn loop. Bryn loop because it's a lot. You can, well, kinda. Never mind. I'm gonna retract my statement because you can get more checks out of the way with this way.
Yeah, it depends on what your priorities are as a runner and as a router. He probably wants to see a couple more things before doing
He can get Kraid.
Brinstar and yeah, he can get this stuff out of the way pretty free without orphaning any checks, which is the important part. If you go to Wreck Ship or Brinstar without Speed Booster, you risk leaving a bunch of stuff behind. Also, we're going to get a sequence break here. He's going in, he's going to Mock Ball under these gates and go for at least the Ice Beam item and maybe the Crumble Tower item as well.
Mm-hmm. He has enough health. This is out of sequence because he does not have the various suit. And since this is not hard mode, none of this item is in, none of these 2 items are not in logic. And just missiles. He's going to go back through.
Important to note here that if NDS does die, he hasn't gotten anything important in SM yet, and if he reset to ship, that's kind of whatever because he would want to go check out items in Criteria and Brinstar anyways. So this is not a super high risk heated room check.
Mm-mm. I would have checked this item first because if this item was worth, and it's just some love.
Container. Yeah, it's like a heart container. If you've got Varia, you'll take that out with you, but if you don't have Varia, you don't want to risk being in that room because if you fall, you're dead.
Oh yeah. Well, Space Jump makes it a lot easier
does.
But he doesn't have the health to fall. I mean, if he fell, he would have just not made it.
Yeah. So then what you would end up doing is routing in Kraid later. But he lived and he told the tale, so he's coming back and is going to do Kraid, who would be our second boss actually, because he already has Blind defeated. Nova has been in Thieves Town. I recently saw him getting the maiden from the jail, but his screen is now black, so I'm not sure what he's progressed to. I think he probably would have noped out of Blind, but it's hard to say without being able to see.
Mm-hmm.
Chat pointing out also we have Crystal Flash ammo, which is kind of uncommon for your first trip into Super Metroid to have that much ammo, but we got here so late. Ooh, no, he's not going to pass on this heart container. You already passed on one, and you know you're on low energy in Link to the Past. No more deaths, please.
And with Plasma Beam makes this mini Kraid a little bit trivial.
Yeah, Plasma is also good for if you want to set up Kraid for a certain kind of quick kill where you use the Plasma Beam, and then for supers, the Plasma is just to kind of set his mouth into position. I think it just has to do with something like how fast the beams travel from your position as far as like getting him to freeze on a certain frame. But I'm not an expert here. Anyways, let's see if NDIAZ gets the quick kill or if he gets the DLC.
Mm-hmm. And we get a quick kill on Kraid.
Very expertly done. He actually has his plasma off, so maybe he's more comfortable with the shot speed of the regular beam there with ice.
He has Plasma on.
Oh, okay. It's his stream was a little bit low quality there for a moment, so I thought I only saw a single like crystal of ice come out of his gun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this has been a it's been a fun little late night stream here for everyone to tune into, but it's also been a little bit choppy on the visual side, so you'll have to forgive us for that. The internet in parts of the world just does not seem to be doing us any favors right now.
Oh no. I would like to remind everybody, please stay safe in these times and all that fun stuff. And anybody who is able to go back to work, please be cautious and respectful to other people around you as well. I would like to point that out. All right, and with Kraid dead, he's going to go do a Brimstar check, or go to. I would recommend going. I would go to do my Brimstar loop instead of going to wreck ship, because of, like you said earlier, without speed booster, you'll be orphaning a lot of items, or one item.
Yeah, it'd be one item in wreck ship. Ooh, okay, Nova. Finally, we got an update on where he is. He's in Hera. Don't really know what he's seen or done, but the Book of Medora is down here at Spazer. So Book of Medora, if you were to take that to Hera, you'd be able to check what's on the Ether tablet at the same time.
That is also puts Desert into logic.
You're right, it does. And it looks like we've got a fire-locked Hera because Nova's got a small key and he's headed towards the basement. We don't have boots, unfortunately, so I think boots are required to do Hera pot. Chat, is that right?
Yeah, well, you can do it without. I've seen the setup for both. It's easier with boots. I mean, I've seen these checks. Oh, we can see X-ray too.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Space Jump puts X-ray into logic, which is conveniently located right here on the way up Red Tower. And it's not something you often see checked early because Space Jump and Grapple don't necessarily come that early with so many other things opening up Wreck Ship. Wreck Ship can open with Gravity Suit. It can open, and like Morph Ball Bombs, it can open with Speed Booster, all that kind of stuff. I'm going to guess, based on the timing of Nova's progression and kind of his skill level, that he did not do blind. We'll be able to see, though. Next time he menus, you should be able to check his crystal count.
I don't think he had, because of the skill level, like you said, probably did not think about going to Skull Woods. Because, I mean, he is a Super Metroid player, mostly. So he would like if he went to Skull Woods and saw that morph ball, he would have definitely be in Super Metroid right now. I mean, I may be wrong because that's I mean, I usually call things wrong. But that's just me. And NDIAZ heading back to Alpha. Power bombs.
Just 20 rupees here behind the Alpha Peebs check where we got our hammer earlier, for those who tuned in late. Nova is ascending Tower of Hera. He's on the floor before Moldorm. Gonna go, hopefully not get trolled. He's taken out his hammer. Hammer will clear Moldorm in 3 hits without enraging. If he's, if he manages to land those shots and not accidentally poke Moldorm with a sword at all.
Mm-hmm. Hammer strats. Hammer has a wonky hitbox. Like, I've found that it's a lot easier, like what he's doing. Vertical hammer shots are a lot easier than horizontal hammer shots because of how that hitbox is with it.
Yeah, the hitbox is kind of like down and to the left or down and to the right of your character when you're doing it side to side with the hammer. It's really weird. Anyway, so that's the Pendant of Power? Question mark. I don't remember what red is in vanilla. I think it's normally a desert. But yeah, pendant acquired. So hey, if pedestal is required, it might matter.
Mm-hmm. I think Nova's trying to figure out where else he could go. I don't think he realizes that he can check.
Skullwoods is a play.
Yeah. He sees that sword and he's like, oh, I want that sword so bad. It'll make my job easier.
Oh, he's making his first inside Spec Rock cave check though, and NDIAZ, he's heading towards wrecked ship. Maybe not fully committing. We'll see if he just checks this. He fell in the water. What's he doing? He's making his way over to wrecked ship. Last chance to bail here would be like going and checking the item under the moat. Or not under the moat, but like under the ocean, but he's probably going all the way. He's got 5 E-tanks and a bunch of ammo, so I think he's good to go for Fantoon.
And Nova is heading to... Ooh, there's a bow underneath the ocean.
Awesome. All right. That bow puts the Armos Knights item in logic and does let us do like one more small check on the right side of pod, but I can't see going back there anytime soon. We can't... Oh, we can finish pod. Yeah, we got a hammer. We can actually... So pod and Eastern are full clearable, but you probably want a mirror before you wouldn't consider pairing them together, and that's even if you care about finishing the pendant on Eastern. Yeah, and as Chad has pointed out, we have a forced double dip of pod because you had to go there to get your ice beam. Your ice beam led you to hammer, and then your hammer led to morph ball and space jump, which then led you back to wrecked ship area for your bow. So that's always fun.
And by the looks of it, he did not go to Skull Woods.
Yeah, so he's down here making the blue Bryn checks, which have been in logic for him for a good while now, once he got that ice beam. But we know that it's just a missile in a heart container. Regarding Nova's screen cropping, we can take a look at that behind the scenes real quick. Nova goes for the damage boost, gets his heart container. Don't know if he's going to keep it though. But anyways, NDIAZ is fighting Fantoon. He's using Doppler strats. Didn't get too many missiles there on that round. Fantoon disappeared a little bit too quickly. So he's going to clear away these flames. Ooh, got a mid pattern there. Clear away some flames and shoots a few too many missiles. Is not able to do a Doppler that round either. But
and he has healthy. He has to be careful and not to...
we got another mid.
not to shoot a super missile.
Yeah.
At Fantoon, or he will enrage the ghost.
Yeah, you want to save your super missile for last. Super missiles deal double damage on Fantoon, 600 instead of 300, but you need to use it to finish Fantoon off, or you will get the enraged phase, as HK 112 was saying. Okay, we got a slow pattern there, but unfortunately we were not ready because we were farming energy, so we're gonna have to wait here for another reappearance. All right,
That was
there's a
quick.
couple missiles. You could end it here. Ooh,
And
nicely done. Yeah, he switched to his super missile just in time. You kind of have to slide on your controller to go from missile to super missile really quick there to get that in before Fantoon disappears. So well done. NDIAZ finishes off his second Super Metroid boss, Fantoon, at the hour 14 mark. While Nova is back in Link to the Past, he's going to flute away. Where is he going?
yeah, I think he's a little lost.
He's getting
Ever,
pulled by this guard. There are more and harder guards that appear in the Link to the Past overworld once you complete Aga. They're more. They come after you. All right. Right side. First post Fantoon item in Wreck Ship. We're gonna have.
if you can get
Once he
in,
can get in through here, yeah, just a miss.
missiles.
So Nova's going back to Uncle via the right side drop down. I wonder if he either forgot that he checked this, or is he looking for the Aga portal? What's he looking for?
He knows where the Aga portal is. He's used it, and we got some boots. Now it's time to go fast,
Well,
Sonic style.
so boots are big pickup. We can't actually complete desert yet without a glove because we can't get to the back, but book plus boots means that if there are up to 2 items in the front of desert, we could get them both.
Oh yeah, because I forgot about the glove entrance. Because in vanilla, that's where you get the glove.
Another implication is that mushroom on the lumberjacks, if anyone remembers way back at the beginning of the seed, we can now get that mushroom. So the boots might be pointing us to that fetch quest. And lastly, the boots will get us our bonk rocks check.
Do you want to do a fetch quest?
I mean, now I do. At the beginning of the seed, I was like, you, mushroom. That said, NDS doesn't know about the mushroom. He didn't do the lumberjack scout. Some runners will save that scout until they have boots, and they'll do it at the same time as bonk rocks. So that's probably what he intends to do next time he gets back to Link to the Past after like clearing out Wreck Ship and possibly Brinstar as well.
And super missiles. He's just gonna reset out of that. Yep. He
Okay,
took
so
the safety save and.
Yep, Nova remembered that he had not done Dark Cross yet, so he came down here to the basement. He's making his way. He's going to find that it's just the map, unfortunately. He's locked out of the back. Rushlight 2V in chat, Dark Cross is in fact the map. We've seen it from NDIAZ today. The key is in the back with 2 items locked by glove.
Mm-hmm.
All right, how's NDIAZ's attic? It's a pretty tricky place to start out. But he does have good beams though. Like with plasma available, this isn't as tricky as doing like an any percent attic. But he's going with missile strat.
I always hated how super missiles shake the screen when you fire them, and when they hit something. I don't know why. It's one of those animations that's like, I can understand they're called super missiles for a reason, but I mean, shake your whole screen on fire and on when they collide something, I can understand that, but on fire, it's just one of those things that.
Yeah, so Nova, he's having a bit of an issue where he's remembering checks kind of.
Ooh,
Oh
that's a
gosh, and
mirror.
there's a mirror already. Wow, Wreck Ship is loaded here. So there's been a bow, boots, and mirror all over here. Big poggers Wreck Ship today. Mirror suddenly opens up that second sword. Not that it does anything for us right now, but it also gets us halfway to that glove we've been scouting for so long.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll open up Graveyard Ledge, Cave 45, and a check of... Actually, not just a check, but a completion of the Bombos tablet, since we do have a second sword available. All right, a little bit of a scout here. NDIAZ coming in through this door. That's for you to preview this reserve tank in the vanilla game.
Hope it's
And
nothing
Wreck Ship
important.
Reserve today is a
That's a
shovel.
shovel. Oh.
Oh no.
Do you want to do another
So
fetch quest?
yeah, this seed has already given us two, like, you don't have the items to do this yet, previews of things you can get much later that are fetch quests. So there's been the mushroom on Lumberjacks, and now there's a shovel at Wreck Ship Reserve, which, if we last location everything in the seed and we get speed booster late and come back and we're supposed to dig up like an ice rod, it's going to be so funny. All right, there's nothing else in the sky. NDIAZ, he doesn't have to worry about his energy total because he has space jump to jump over these spikes here. So he's going to go through the cutscene and wreck ship, have the Chozo statue carry him down, and do 2 more item checks. Come on, speed booster right here at this next item, speed booster.
I'm trying to think.
We got SpeedGaming 4 coming in with a raid. 57 people have joined us. Thank you for coming. So you have just walked into a pretty trolly SMZ3 seed, not going to lie. Morph was buried behind a very awkward and super linear, kind of hard early game. And the seed then wanted you to go to Skull Woods and follow that up with a low HP Thieves Town play, and then probably a low HP, or at least low suit wreck ship.
Yeah. All we need is flippers, and we can get those gloves.
Yeah, we've seen a glove since the early game. Speaking of flippers, Hypes Nova's fake flippering here, doing these checks that NDIAZ did in the early game.
And he can go to Zora and get that item. And more money.
That's right. Yes, he can. He can sequence break to Zora. So, hey, that could be a way for him to get back in. He has fallen a bit behind, but he has a few of his... Ooh, we got another raid coming in. 88 from SpeedGaming 3. Everyone's just piling in here. Must be the last race of the night. Thank you for joining us. So Nova does have a couple of boss clears in Link to the Past. According to his menu, we've been able to see that he cleared Thieves Town as well. But if there's something on Zora, NDIAZ has kind of isolated that check.
Mm-hmm.
You'd maybe see him come back to it if he does Catfish, Mirror to Zora type of check, and then maybe around to the north side of the Dark World, or vice versa. But yeah, so plus RNG, maybe there's something on Zora for Nova here. Something juicy, like another glove maybe.
Or flippers. Vanilla flippers would be...
Yeah, that'd be awesome. All right, just don't get hit here. If you get hit while you're water walking like this, you will
fall.
Just need to reset. Or no, you'll die. Yeah, you'll die instead of getting soft like in vanilla.
And screw attack! That unlocks the first half of Gauntlet.
Good.
that unlocks the first half of Gauntlet.
Yeah, he actually literally gets a check he can do from that, which is kind of funny without his morph ball. Of course, he knows that's not the progression. He knows he's sequence breaking. And we see both runners at the ship at the same time, which is just hilarious, given their different routing.
That also gets him down to Brimstar.
Oh, no, he's going to do Morphless Bryn. Oh, this is so unfortunate. He just has either forgotten about Skull Woods or didn't want to go there.
Or, that's probably true. I mean, Skull Woods, it's one of those checks like, and that's a bottle for the bottle vendor. Or not the bottle vendor, but the sick kid, yeah.
Okay, so he could, in a roundabout way, end up over in Village of Outcasts again. Oh, but except, wait a minute. Without a glove, you're not going to go Sick Kid back into Village of Outcasts because you can't go through that portal. So Sick Kid won't lead him back over there.
Mm-mm.
All right, Nova also declined the gauntlet check, even though there was one item there. NDIAZ in the gauntlet now. Yep, he's going to go see the back, which we have not been able to see yet.
And NDIAZ or Nova's checking just, small checks right now and whatnot.
Yeah, there's one item you can acquire that's very difficult to do without Morph Ball, otherwise you'll soft lock yourself there.
And there's another bottle.
Well, those bottles are like 2 screens apart.
A boodle. Everybody can admire a little boodle. A little boodle here. I like boodles.
All right, Big Pink, 2 items that Nova can acquire here with his screw attack. He's got super missiles, which we're up to a pretty respectable count already, 35 to go with our solid beams. And then this last item here, the charge missiles, what are they? Ooh, just a big 20. I think that's going to be a reset.
Reset. He's like, oh, I don't have Morph Bulb.
So I know Nova plays with an item tracker. I'm not sure which one he uses, but it must have lit up Skull Woods by now. Maybe he didn't mark like AGA being completed on his tracker, which does make all that stuff in Dark World turn green. That's the only thing I can think of that might be throwing him off.
Mm-hmm.
Either that, or maybe the fact that like because he doesn't have Fire Rod, Skull Woods is maybe appearing in a funny color on his tracker. That's something that could. Ooh, high jump!
Ooh, high jump! Come on, Nova, Skullwoods, everybody, Goku that Spirit Bomb energy and have him go to Skullwoods.
So high jump is a wonderful item. We actually don't need it anymore because space jump covers all the things that high jump otherwise would for us, but it's such a quality of life item. You just, when you don't have it, you miss it so much. Nova now making, ooh, nice moonfall there with the screw attack. He's making a check down to the Old Mother Brain. There's this little thing right here that you can screw attack into.
Mm-hmm. Oh, please let us see this item.
Ooh, we're in the slideshow mode right as he checks it.
It's like one of those old Batman, the original Batman series with Adam West. Coming up next on Batman, will Batman survive? Will this happen? That's basically what we have on Nova's screen.
Yes, unfortunately.
Come join us on the same Bat Time and Bat Channel.
So yeah, this feels like a flipper hunt, a flipper or suit hunt. Get us the most stuff.
If he finds flippers, that's gonna lead him farther away from Skullwoods.
Oh, sorry, I meant for both of them. Like they both want a flipper, but in particular, NDIAZ already having his mirror acquired from Wreck Ship definitely wants it because he's a mirror away from much stuff. This might be his. Oh, blue boom in there for NDIAZ. Nova's stream might be lagging or like replaying its most recently captured stuff before the freeze. I'm not sure. And we have another raid coming in from SpeedGaming 6. Welcome, welcome. Thank you. This is a late night race here. We got the SMZ3 1v1 tournament. This is an elimination match between NDIAZ and Hypes Nova. Both are 1-1. You need to have 2 wins to advance to the bracket stage, 2 losses and you are out. It's been a bit of a different experience for the 2 runners, both what they've been able to do and what we've been able to see them do. NDIAZ is making pretty smooth progress through what is otherwise a trolley seed. Nova is been blocked up just at every step, but also has had rough internet issues today, so we haven't been able to see a lot of his progression.
That's half magic in Indiana Jones, or is that Mission Impossible? There we go.
The half magic, great quality of life item, especially to pair with that cape that we've got. And with those 2 bottles, we'll never have magic issues like later in the game if we need to do, you know, Silverless Ganon or something like that, and we could light the torches a million times.
India is almost forgetting to check charge, and it's more money. You know, I mean, I love seeing money, but man, they're making bank this seed, I think.
Yep, Captain MD13, one of our frequent commentators in chat, points out that on the version 11 logic update, which is something we recently switched to, a significant change is that all bottles appear empty and all bottles filled up by the Pyramid Fairy or the Waterfall Fairy will give you green goo, so you can only fill up your magic from those. But we can go to the potion shop at any time, and we'll probably end up at that potion shop when people go get their mushroom from Lumberjacks.
And we got a raid from... I'm not gonna even try to pronounce that name, or I'll butcher.
Matos, welcome to the stream. Thank you for the raid of 52. We got a real big house in here tonight. We're showing you about one and a half runners. Hypes Nova, unfortunately, having some internet lag issues, so not able to see his progress in super real time. But NDIAZ making his way through the Bryn loop. He's done a couple of skips here. He skipped Spore Spawn, which is a pretty common thing. And he also skipped the Wave Gate there, using High Jump to take advantage of just the really easy setup for that. Rewarded with a French Vanilla Charge Beam. Instead of at Charge, it was up here.
That's a nice find in NDIAZ's book.
Yeah, Charge Ice Plasma is a good combo of beams to already have. Nova, he's making his way over to East Death Mountain again. He's already done Hera, and he did Paradox and Spiral earlier, so I'm not sure what he thinks he's doing over here. Yeah, Charge Beam, that's another thing that's significant in the new logic. Version 11, Charge Beam no longer required by the logic to kill Mother Brain or Ridley, so it can be as late as Ganon's Tower, and you might finish the seed without it at all. Of course, you might have in previous versions, but you knew kind of where it would be, versus here it can be anywhere. All right, NDIAZ is going to come clean up Blue Bryn. He's already been here before, checking those early in logic items that came off of the Ice Beam. So we've seen a few, but we're going to see this vanilla, I guess, Alpha Missiles. This would be called Alpha Missiles, right? Yeah, Alpha Missiles. And Heart Container. A lot of Heart Containers down here. There's that one on the ceiling, too, and he's going to get that this time. And then we'll be able to check the item behind the block on the right here that he's got a power bomb open, and Billy Mays' room will have 2 items. And HK, why is it called Billy Mays' room?
Because there's 2 items in one. You can you see one item on the pedestal, and then you shoot a block, and wait, there's more.
Exactly. And we also got a Bombos down here, so that's two medallions already. We haven't seen the TR or Meyer medallions. Both dungeons are required, but if either or both are Quake or Bombos, we are covered.
That's silver arrows. Oh man. Well, slow start, but man, we're getting loaded with the items.
Yep. And I was just alluding to the possibility of a silverless fight, 3 minutes ago, and here we already have the silver arrows with the bow in hand. So the seed's really being convenient as far as giving us our offensive capabilities in both games. We've got access to 2 swords and silver arrows in Link to the Past, and we've got access to Charge, Ice, and Plasma, plus a screw attack if NDIAZ ever goes to Zora in Super Metroid. Yeah, Brinstar did have a lot of luxury items, but they're good luxury items. Like, you go through and you get High Jump, Charge Beam, Half Magic, and Silver Arrows. You're thinking that's going to shave time out of the rest of your progression through both of the games and make back up some of that time, so you don't feel too bad at all. I mean, especially the Ganon fight, or like Vitreous. There's so many things that silvers make faster. High Jump makes LN and Meridia both just a lot less painful.
Okay, I missed, what was that, Old Mother Brain again? So can you fill me in?
No, because I missed it too. I was waxing poetic about the advantages of quality of life items in both games. Oh, our tracker, thank you in chat. Sandres316 says it is an E-Tank.
And go north. Yes, Nova's making the play finally to Skull Woods. That's good to see.
All right, he's going to finally get unstuck. He's going to have his progression, maybe do a few rage hooks or rage bombs or rage slashes. But he's going to go through the same path NDIAZ did, so he will be initially stymied by just seeing dungeon items and a key, but eventually, if he goes to the middle, he'll see his Morph Ball bomb behind the Gibdo puzzle. Sorry, Morph Ball, not bombs.
And checking the last missiles. Omega.
Yeah, I think the newest and most optimized 100% route checks this particular missile last. I haven't run 100% in SM since it was the old Red Scarlet route, and it got the Brinstar cleanup items earlier than that. So this would have been like my third to last missile or fourth to last. I'm not sure.
I've been replaying Super Metroid is on the Switch. If you have the Switch Online service, you can get the Super Nintendo emulator on it, and I've been 100%ing Super Metroid on it, which is actually quite fun. So I've been using Zosti's route that he posted like 5 or 6 years ago. So
yep. So nothing of importance there over at the Bomb Terizo, and we didn't have to fight Bomb Terizo because it only wakes up if you have Morph Ball bombs already acquired. So nice quick check. And it looks like after clearing out Wreck Ship and Brinstar, NDIAZ back into Link to the Past, and he's got a bunch to do.
Oh yeah, with that mirror, those boots. I hope he remembers he has. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, the book.
Ooh, Nova taking a death inside of one room away from getting his morph ball.
Yeah, but he at least when you take a death inside the dungeon like that, you're right back at the door. If he had died outside, he would have had to come all the way back, and I would have just felt so bad for him.
Just Gibdos.
Can't go this way yet. Your glove is in another castle. Uh-oh. He's gonna get
Oh, poor NDIAZ.
Yeah, that's happened to our runners a few times. There are just so many places. It's autopilot in your brain. Like I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna go to these portals. But you need a glove.
It's like, do you even lift, bro?
And at half a heart left on his last check available in both games, types Nova, stares at it a bit, but finally gets his morph ball, and it is time for some Super Metroid.
And he's doing it again. He's like, Bonk Rocks are now in check. He went to go.
So I think we'll see probably Bryn first into like Red Tower and then Wreck Ship for Nova, just based on his starting at the ship like this. Bonk Rocks, that's nothing there, but NDIAZ probably routes in the Lumberjack item here because he has Aga complete. Yep, there he goes.
He's just gonna blind. I bet he's gonna blind check it. It would make sense to do it. He has Aga dead. I mean, why not just hit the darn tree and move on about your business? Oh. Do you want to do a fetch quest?
I do. I've wanted to see what this thing was for an hour and a half.
I just now realized how much time it has been. Now,
yeah.
I want to point out on Nova's screen, a lot of the checks will be a lot easier with him than it was with NDIAZ because he does have that sequence broke screw attack from Zora.
Yeah, that speeds up his gauntlet for first and foremost that we just saw. He'll get his bottle here, and then another bottle kitty corner from it downstairs as he goes to check Terminator. NDIAZ has turned in the mushroom, and he gets the gravity suit!
That was an AGA required seed to get to understand the gravity of the situation, chat. It was a AGA required seed.
Yeah, and with a glove, oh man, so much stuff was behind AGA. It's been a long time since I've seen AGA required both for Dark World access and for a required like progressive item, especially one as major as Gravity Suit. Last time I think it happened to me, there was like a glove on Lumberjacks, which is like, of course you have to do AGA. But yeah, wow. So all those items that we've gotten coming in predictive through the logic. We saw Mushroom, we got our boots, we did AGA, lo and behold, there's our Gravity Suit. That opens up all of Meridia because we have the
I
Plasma
missed bottle
Beam.
check.
Oh no, we don't have Shack Tool. Shack Tool not open logically until we get a Grapple Beam. But we have Ice Beam, so we can clip it.
Sick Kid is trash, alright. Now, the high jump boots do help with a little bit, and what they help with is the jump height when they get speed boosters.
This better be a pedestal check for NDIAZ because he cannot. Oh no, no, not again! No,
he's gonna do it again.
What? No, it's hardwired in your brain. You just never think about this stuff. Yeah, you need to go back through the Aga portal, and yeah, I'm sorry, friend.
I mean, if we can pull them in for commentation when this is done, I have to ask. I was like, so how was I mean, do you even lift? I mean,
Yeah.
it's that meme. Do you even lift, bro? Come on.
Nova clearing through the Bryn loop. He's in Extremes right now. He's gotten his high jump already. He'll be coming up on things like half magic and so forth shortly. So what does NDIAZ got to do? He's got all of Meridia open, so he doesn't
Oh, yeah.
have to stay in here in Link to the Past, but he does want to go finish Pod, I think.
Yeah, he has pod open to him.
Yeah, there are
And
a
I
couple
think
more
that's where he's.
there. Sorry, you can't go in the water yet. Don't know what you're going this way for. Oh, he wants to check. I see what he's doing. He might be routing in. He doesn't have flippers. You know, stay here, stay here. He can go do Bombo's tablet in K45 with his mirror. He's
What's
so
he-
frustrated.
What's he doing?
Oh no,
Splash!
the bomb! Oh, splash deletion. He's trying to sequence break the glove. This is some high level tactics right here.
I was wondering what he was doing. I
didn't realize that he was on quite this level of like advanced Link to the Past tactics, because this is not an easy looking trick to me.
All right. Have you ever done splash deletion, and can you explain that to the chat, because I have no idea. Like Eleanor explained it
Basically,
a little
the
bit.
same. Oh, there it goes. That's success. I cannot speak right now. That's it. That was a successful attempt. So, anyways, but he's back on land, so he didn't actually die there by getting hit. But it works similarly to how Fake Flippering does, in that because the splash animation happens as you screen transition for Fake Flipper, it's the same as what you're doing here, which is overloading the sprites on screen in the game so that the splash can't actually happen. Oh no, he got bombed again. He's getting so close. I know he wants that glove so bad, but he might give it up because it's taking so long. All right, so we're done sequence breaking. We're not going to K45. We're not checking Bombo's tablet.
We're not going to pod.
We're getting our sword and probably doing Ether tablet check. And in fact, he'll probably dip. Actually, this could be just Meridia, but since Hera and Ether tablet are here, I could see him going up and doing a little bit of convenience
Meridia.
routing. Yeah, push that lumberjack check. That's a good one.
And Nova gonna get his charge beam.
Oh, learning in chat that apparently you cannot mirror while you are in Fake Flipper or Splash Deletion mode, so never mind. He knew the trick, he just didn't know what he could do with the trick.
And I bet Nova's happy to see that charge beam.
I'll fire it up. He's I don't know, I'm trying to make some kind of pun that leads to me word charge again, but whatever. I'll leave the puns to you.
It's hard. It's very hard to build up for a pun on charge beam.
You're right, it is. Anyway, so NDIAZ have speed booster here, but it does not matter. He's not going to be leaving. Oh,
there's flippers. He's going straight to those flippers.
Yeah, I know.
He's like, nope, nope. I'm not going up. I'm going to get those flippers.
There's been so many like little stories told by the things you can see before you can get them in this seed. And here we have another one. He's just scouting out crab supers, and lo and behold, there are the flippers that we've wanted for so gosh darn long.
He was just splashing about for so long. He eventually found them.
Yeah, it's been a while. So we are in Meridia here. We're probably going to full clear Meridia still, but the flippers do give us access to a bunch of stuff.
We cannot full clear it. We do not have grapple beam.
Hammer mirror means we can full clear Swamp Palace.
And
the glove
gets
a bunch of stuff.
Oh, sorry. I'm walking all over you, and I apologize.
No, that's okay. Yeah. So point is that there's a cascade of things that happen. Is that good? When we get those flippers.
Yeah. Also, since we do not have Speed Booster, we can't get to Dragon. However, we can get to the portal in the Dark World that takes us to the back half of Meridia, and we can get to Dragon there.
Well,
can't get.
that's in logic, right? But we can break logic and use Ice Beam to Metroid clip
Shh,
through the front door.
Yeah, I couldn't resist. But yeah, backdooring and Nova checking his Millie Maze room and getting his silvers. He
All
hasn't
the
found that
convenient
bug.
items for him.
I bet he's happy to see him. Now, if I was in Nova's situation, and I have been in his situation doing a seed before, not being the greatest, again, throwing out my bad skills of Link to the Past and another Boodle, I would try scouting out Skullwoods is not my biggest thing to do. And I could understand him putting it off so long. But I'm hoping it will catch up, you know. I'm hoping he can catch up from being set behind so far. And there's a fire rod. Things are starting to heat up.
That's a really nice check to get out of the way. So there are a couple of items that are kind of considered the late game, like last location-y sort of trolls in Link to the Past, but that are still required for most Go modes. And that's the bow, the Cane of Samaria, the fire and ice rods, and sometimes the pendants or not pendants, the medallions for Meyer and TR. Like all those things have so few places they lock that they can end up just forcing you to full clear both games to find them. Every time you find one of them, you just feel so relieved inside.
Now, I'd like to throw out, if Turtle Rock was a pendant, there's a good possibility that the ice rod is not required.
We do have Crystal TR today. 5-6 Meyer also. With 5-6 Crystal Meyer, we probably won't see a Pyramid Fairy check.
I still got faith in a ped check or a pedestal seed along with an Agassiz. I have that.
So could have looked at the pedestal when he went over and got stonewalled there in the Lost Woods, but he declined. I think you're good here. Yeah. Okay, so NDIAZ just did, to get around Speed Booster, he just did a snail clip for bombs and a missile, so nothing important there. He also saved here in the aqueducts, and so he can use that save to route in checks to the left and right sand pits, and if he's feeling super spicy, an ice clip to Shack Tool.
He's probably thinking ice clip to Shack Tool because he's doing left first.
I think NDIAZ probably knows he's got some time to work with, given that the seed has gone very well for him since Ag. So if he's just trying to be thorough and make sure he doesn't orphan items the last time he's ever going to be near them, it would make sense. But you have to be quick. If you're not going to get that ice clip to Shack on like 2 tries, you don't want to do it in a race.
No. Hopefully right sand pit. Ooh, and Nova picking up his book. He's going to check that right sand pit.
Yep, and Nova will be coming up on his first Super Metroid boss here shortly. He is close to Kraid. Assuming he doesn't just like take a wide left detour into Suitless Meridia. Nope, okay, cool. Because if you could do Suitless Meridia from here with Ice Beam and a high jump, and you could actually get to Crab Supers, which is kind of nutty. Like if he just went up there and got his flippers, just for no reason.
I would like to point out, Nova has enough health to do hell runs into Bubble Mountain.
Yeah, and his ammo count is pretty good, so he can Crystal Flash a few times. But I don't think he's at the point where he says like major sequence breaks are his way back into the game. He's probably going to rely more on some of those out of the way checks, like how he got that screw attack off Zora.
And of course, Nova's going to take this heart container. It's one of those things that.
Here we go, Metroid clip time for NDIAZ, and gets it easy first try. It's actually not that bad of a trick if you're looking to learn quick ways to improve your routing through the combo rando.
And this is going to be a somewhat short bot tune. Help. Bot tune, baton, bot wound. Thank you.
Yeah, that boss goes down so quickly to charge plasma. He doesn't have X-ray beam to make the full combo, but let's see if Hypes Nova gets the quick kill on Crate here. Starting with the plasma shot, doesn't get a favorable mouth open position. Doesn't get it the second time either. He's going to his menu. Is there a menu strat that you can use to stop him from going up? No. He's just taking off Ice Beam, maybe. Unless it was already off. I'm not sure. Anyways, so we got
He
DLC over
hasn't.
here.
He hasn't had Ice Beam on. He shut that thing off as soon as he entered Super Metroid.
So we've
Because
landed, what, 2 super missiles here so far on Kraid. We need to get 1 more super and 1 more missile, or a, yeah, charged plasma shot will do it. We got a herd of Moctroids that thought Samus adopted them and wanted to come play along, but Samus was like, no, I'm cold-hearted. I'm going to leave you behind forever. So Moctroids officially abandoned. We're just going to go kill their queen.
now we won't see any microwave strats because we have no X-ray. You know, the one thing I enjoy about the randomizer is you see parts of the game with items that if you play vanilla, there's a chance you see parts of the game with items that you don't normally have or don't get until later in the game, you know?
Yeah. So NDIAZ, he's got an interesting loadout here. He doesn't have any of the traditional quick kills for this fight, and there are a lot of alternative quick kills. One of them involves having this, but plus the X-ray. The other one involves having the grapple beam, and the other one, which you see in any percent, is the speed booster, which you can use to shine spark into Dragon. That said, this charged plasma ice is getting Dragon down faster than like super missiles or missiles, what I think.
I mean,
Nice little damage boost there for NDIAZ.
and we find missiles in Space Jump Room.
Nova popping open this door here at the bottom of Red Tower. He's taking the Sloaters refill. Shout out to Sloaters, who is also a competitor in this tournament.
Now, where's he going? Wreck ship. Come on, wreck ship. Again, that screw attack that Nova has sped up a little bit on some of these check, especially Gauntlet and X-Ray, because NDIAZ did get hit a few times while he was flying through that room.
Also, we see, so Nova is climbing Red Tower. There are a lot of breakable platforms in there, and he actually deleted one of the ones he wanted to stand on. So the screw attack maybe kind of took him a little bit longer there. But anyways, he's coming back up Red Tower to clean this up. He hasn't seen the item behind the hammer yet. NDIAZ takes one of the coolest portals. Honestly, it's my favorite portal, the one from Meridia to Southeast Dark World. And he's actually in a very, very convenient spot because guess what? He's right next to that
His glove.
location, yeah, for the glove that he wanted earlier.
Now, I would like to point out when I was commentating a weekly one time, and SMZ Randomizer was still a new thing. I was commentating on Aussie was in that race, and what he did, we had both gloves, but no flippers. And there was an item, I can't remember what it was, on that floating island. He had the mirror and the gloves. And what he turned around and did was he faked flippered, and that he went through Meridia and faked flippered to get to where he needed to fake flippered into Ice Palace from there, and got the item on the floating island because fake flippering going through Meridia.
And this is great routing here from NDIAZ. I really like his efficiency. He's coming over here to pod right after doing that check because we know there are a couple items in pod, and it's a crystal that he can now complete compared to the last time he was here. It's a logical double dip. So just really, really smooth coming out of Meridia, knocking out bosses, knocking out crystals, getting required items. We picked up our first glove at the hour 51 mark, which is kind of redonkulous, even for combo.
Oh yeah. It's not a nice thing to do.
Nova scouts the sky item there. in the middle of the criteria area near wreck ship, sees that it's just a missile, and continues onward. I don't know if he dropped down into the water yet for the ocean item. He might do
No,
that
he
at
didn't.
the end.
Yeah,
On the cutscene.
yeah, I figured he was gonna do that after. Like, he didn't drop down like most people would, but most people, I mean, like some runners I've noticed choose to do it after Fantoon, and some runners choose to do it before Fantoon.
If I don't have gravity suit yet, I will sometimes do that check for cheeky gravity suit, and it's worked out sometimes. All right, so one of the items on the right side pod is this these bombs. I think we're going to see a small key here.
I think we will too.
Which, yep, okay. So then the last dungeon item is on the boss because we're missing the map.
Now, I think what NDIAZ.
Sorry,
yes.
map is in the big chest. We saw Hype's Nova pick up the big chest map earlier that NDIAZ routed out. And so he's actually got to go back and check it. Oh no, it's got super trolled by
just go to Helmasaur.
Like it's 50-50 for him anyways. If he goes to Helmasaur and he sees the item, he'll be like, "Oh, great! I can just leave the big chest."
Yeah. Well, if he didn't fall, he would have probably would have checked that big chest and wasted a little bit of time. But since he's doing it this way, he's a little bit safer.
Yep. So Nova here, he's on his second Super Metroid boss, Fantoon. He's a couple patterns in here, gets slow and does not get Fantoon hit before the eye close and the disappearance, and it looks like a slow reappearance. Well, kind of a mid-slow reappearance. Misses it there. Okay, he's got him active. He's going to try to hit, 2 to 3 missile shots and then a charged plasma every round. That's going to deal a ton of damage. If you're not comfortable with Doppler strats, or even if you are, but you want something a little bit more reliable, charged plasma is a great way to go. And I think he's going to finish it this round. Yep. So, Fantoon down for Nova.
Now, I'd like to point out, since he had the screw attack during this fight, he was jumping around to stop the damage from the fire that floats around. Usually most people use pseudo screw attacks to stop that from happening. But with the screw attack in hand, he could just, dance around those flames.
Another sort of byproduct of the routing, given that Nova went to Brinstar before Wreck Ship, he had that charge beam available, so he could use the charged plasma shots on Fantoon, than only the missiles and super missiles like NDIAZ was using. NDIAZ, he's on his second Link to the Past boss here, Helmasaur King. He's going to use hold out the sword charge and poke with those item. What do you call that? When you have your sword held out, but you also use your item, it's the thing that you can only do in like the Japanese version.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah. Anyways, he's using hammer poke strats to extend the range of the hammer and reduce the knockback so we can get more hits in more quickly. And then once the shield is knocked off, he's going to sink one silver arrow in and kaboom. Down goes Helmasaur King.
And Nova is going to find his boots, and it's time for him to go fast. And the last item in pod is an energy tank. More health.
Yeah, so with all the SM health and the convenience items and movement items, if NDIAZ follows those flippers, and like say he goes up to Quakefish after this. Oh no, he's gonna go maybe finish Eastern here for the Armos Knights, or is he just gonna flute away? No, he's finishing Eastern. So he wants this item on Armos while he's here. That's cool.
Well, I mean, the seed's been pushing for double dips.
Yeah, he might even go back through that mirror portal afterwards and continue around the Dark World. Because I think a nice check for him would be to go do Catfish, get that out of the way, and do Zora at the same time.
He could do Swamp.
Yeah, he could do Swamp. What he could do is get down there. Swamp is great. Swamp is one of the most lucrative spots we have open to us right now, and it's a crystal, so no doubt Swamp would be a fine play. Oh no, Swamp Palace is a pendant. Wait a minute.
Yes, it is, but it's
okay, but it's green pendant, so it's 7 items.
And yeah, that's what I said.
7 items, yeah.
It's 7 items, and again, like this seed has been, it's been a very, very double dip, confusing, roundabout way to get stuff.
Anyways, I was trying to drive at a sort of a long tail point there with him going to. if he goes to Catfish after he goes back through his mirror, mirrors to Zora, gets his screw attack, he'll be in a really good setup for doing a potentially Varia-less seed, right? So say Varia isn't just a horrible spot. Maybe Varia's on pedestal, or Varia's on God knows what. Varia's on like just like waterway or something super isolated, or it's off the shovel from wreck ship, just a terrible spot. If you have a lot of energy tanks and power bombs, as well as stuff like charged plasma, screw attack, high jump, space jump, you got all that nice convenience loadout for SM. You can easily, for his skill level, not easily for anyone, easily for his skill level, do a lower Nordfair without the various suit.
Mm-hmm. Now, I'd like to point out Nova's having a really easy time with Attic with that screw attack. It saves time a lot in Attic.
It really does.
And a blue pendant for NDIAZ.
Missile on Armo, right? So this would have been, if he had had the information of that pedestal check earlier, that would have been really valuable to know now, because he's got a pendant, and so does Nova, who's done Hera.
Mm-hmm. He's fluting away. Where's he going? I think he's gonna go to Dark World. He has that Fire Rock. Skull Woods is accessible now.
Yeah, Skullwoods. We've already seen one of the items. It was our morph ball.
Wait, where's he going?
Don't go there. We want to go. He wants to get his sword. Yeah, you want to get that second sword before Mothula. Good call. Oh, he just cannot make mind. Okay, back to. Is he gonna do Sick Kid? No, he already did Sick Kid. Because yeah, that was when he got rebuffed by the. All right, check pedestal. Actually, no, he can check pedestal when he goes to Skullwoods. You go to the back, you mirror in. So this is probably a Skullwoods into pedestal check play. All right, now things are making sense. Nova is almost through wreck ship. He's just onto the cutscene. And he'll probably be on his way back to Link to the Past shortly, given that he picked up all those progressive items in wreck ship. I gotta say, NDIAZ really blitzed through Meridia like so quickly that at one point I was super excited about how Gravity Suit had opened up all these new checks, and now they're all behind us, and it's like we're actually down to just Swamp Palace and kind of some yucky stuff now.
Mm-hmm.
Swamp Palace is one of those dungeons that runners love for go mode. If it's a crystal, this is not, of course, it's dependent. But doing the full clear of swamp, including left side, is a lot of time.
Okay, mirror and go check pedestal. Mirror and check pedestal. He'll probably do it afterwards. And did they find both items in this dungeon? It's a 2 or 3 item dungeon. I can't remember.
It's a 2-item dungeon, and Morph Ball was our first item.
Mm. Well, he has half magic, which is really useful in this situation.
That's going to let him get through this room without using much magic, kill the Gibdos and light the torches, and then also spam Fire Rod for Master Sword damage on Mothula.
Mm-hmm.
So even though he didn't come here with the Master Sword, he declined to get it despite being on Death Mountain. He will be fine with this Fire Rod. Didn't pick up that spare magic though, or the key. I don't think he needs the key, but the spare magic might have been helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, looks pretty clean so far. It's 8 Fire Rod shots to kill Mothula. And of course you have to hope that he won't get bounced into a spike, because Mothula doesn't take damage from the damage class of spikes, which is the same damage class as Butter Sword and Tempered Sword spins.
Really?
Yep.
So if you have Temper Sword when you enter this fight in the vanilla game, he won't take damage?
And yeah. From a slash, it's fine. It's only 4. Anyway, so he had to use a bottle there. Not surprising, because it's a spooky fight. And gets the big key. So if the item not down underneath past the bouncers, then he's going to have to go back to the front of Skullwoods and check the big chest.
I'd like to point out that Nova did pick up his bow just now. I think. I'm pretty sure he did.
Yeah, so the nice thing about doing the boss first and then coming back is you're going to mirror out of this chest anyway, so you save yourself a menu to the mirror away from Fire Rod if you do mirror out, then mirror to check pedestal.
Mm-hmm.
So small optimizations like that are the things that you just sort of add up over the time, and veteran runners will show you like that's how they shave off those seconds.
All right, mirror here. Check pedestal. Check pedestal.
He's going.
Yes. I love seeing this check.
All right, chat. Get your if you have pedestal emotes, get them out in chat. Aw,
I
things
didn't.
go triple. That's a pack of blueberries. That's 3 bombs. Ped is dead.
Oh, dead ped.
That said, green pendant could still be something. Swamp Palace
Yeah.
looking awfully full right now. But you know what check is available that we've been putting off for a long time? There are 2 quick items in the back of did I say Gauntlet? Sorry, 2 quick items in the back of Escape, just from a reset to Sanctuary. So what he could do, maybe he could go across the north side and maybe do like Graveyard Ledge into that check, but that would kind of orphan Catfish. So I think I'd like him to go the full way across the north through Graveyard Ledge to Catfish to Zora. And he's going to do a bomb jump here to get to the big chest and find the last item in Skullwoods. Oh, took out his hook shot. Meant to use his bombs. So he's backing up near the edge of the pit and using a sword spin to steady himself. So he's as far back as possible on the edge of the pit to make sure the bomb jump succeeds. And he's rewarded with a level 2 shield.
Yep. All right, where are you going? Well, he doesn't have to orphan out Catfish. He could get. Well, no, he would if he checks the back of Escape.
Yeah, exactly. Like you'd be missing your mirror portal if you jump down and then immediately go into the escape. So he probably won't do that. Though this being over here probably reminds him that that check exists. All right, Mirror Ledge, one of the trollier locations in the game. You often see people last or close to last location in this, just because if you've already done like Bonkrock's King's Tomb, this is pretty out of the way. We haven't seen King's Tomb yet, but we can because we have Boots and Mirror. And just a missile, though. Yeah, this is actually really clean. I love this. He's getting all these things out of the way. You know Catfish and Zora are coming after this. He is a veteran runner. He's been routing well through the Dark World so far, and I think that's going to continue.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of events happening in the... Oh!
That's a mitts.
Okay, so mitts are something that is sometimes a logical requirement to get into the King's Tomb. If you don't have mirror, you have to come from the light world. The mitts open that up. So we got 2 gloves now for NDIAZ. That just opened up a ton of stuff. We have Bombo, so that means Ice Palace is open. Pending like a Can of Samaria lock or whatever, Ice Palace is full clearable.
We got Fire Rod.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Bombos and Fire Rod. So Ice Palace, Imagic, 3.
No, well, Meyer's
Meyer,
not, but we can get to the Meyer area.
We can get to the Meyer area, yeah, but we don't know if we can get in pending the medallion.
Desert.
Okay, so this is nothing in back of Escape. Okay, so NDIAZ is officially, I'm going to say officially orphaned Catfish and Zora, so he probably is not getting that screw attack for a long time.
No. Probably not. Sad
Probably
to say.
not ever. So anyways, he's up here on Death Mountain. He's got Ether Tablet, his Master Sword.
He's not going there. He's going to Dark Death Mountain.
Yeah, Dark East Death Mountain. Do Super Bunny Cave, Hookshot Cave. Check the item on, not the item. Check the lock for Turtle Rock. Then you can go over, do Ether Tablet, dip into Hera if you want to, and then finish it off with Spike Cave. So this is a big Death Mountain loop for him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and chat is talking about what we need for go mode. Medallion situation is pending. Don't know if we need Ether. Ice Rod, yes. Red Cane, yes. Varia depends on NDIAZ's comfort with variolous lower Norfair.
It's still, I mean, it's still required to. I mean, it is a go mode, considered a go mode item because this is normal logic.
Yeah.
Uh,
Nova is back in pod for the second time, as was required for both runners. It's a logical double dip. He's going to finish off Helmasaur King here, going to the back. He's in a pretty good HP situation. He's got full hearts plus his second tier mail.
he's having trouble with that mimic.
Yeah.
That mimic is just.
I was trying to teach him recently how to strafe and use his arrows at the same time so that he can always have the mimics facing sideways and not shoot at him, but I don't think he's quite. Oh my god! Speaking of area.
Oh boy.
Wow. Big. I don't know if it's necessarily a big brain check, but I just feel like everything's coming up NDIAZ lately. The beginning of the seed stunk. The rest of it has been smooth.
I'm surprised he didn't blind check what's on that floating island.
I think he's seen
Bombos.
Bombos for TR. He's seen the floating island before when he did Spiral Cave.
Oh, I didn't see what was on it. I missed it.
I don't think there's anything we cared about.
So we are missing a red cane, an ice rod, and
Meyer medallion.
And the Meyer medallion.
Master Sword acquired, so he can deal damage to Ganon. Ether Tablet check here. Okay, come on. Ice Rod on Ether Tablet check. Let's just make it real nice.
That would be just ridiculous.
We're not that lucky.
Just a lot of love. Is he gonna dip Hera? Nope.
No, it doesn't look like it. And he knows pedestal is not required. Oh, Spike Cave, no! He was right there with a cape and half magic.
He thought about it.
I think you don't think about it. I think you just do it, right? Like, he just remembered. He just remembered.
And he's like, well, the way the seed's been going. Nope, he's gonna flute away. Where's he going?
I want to say that I have had so much trouble predicting, like, NDIAZ will make. Yeah, he's gotten.
I know what he's thinking. I bet I know. I bet I can read his mind right now. One, he's probably thinking he can go through Lower Norfair, do all those, kill Ridley, come up through Bubble Mountain, do all those checks very efficiently. And that's a good point. You can do every single one of those checks really easily.
And then he'll come out of the Norfair portal and go to Spike Cave.
Well, I don't know. He probably said nope.
That's too to predict. He might be in Gummo.
And we have both medallions for Turtle Rock and Misery Mire.
All right, so that's good news. Not a medallion hunt seed. We are going to complete Desert here. It's the only Light World crystal. And we've got boots, and we've got lifting power, and we've got a fire source long since passed.
Mm-hmm.
Chat, please. NDIAZ is going to do Norfair very efficiently. I'm like laughing to myself and also like half cringing.
Yeah, it's one of those things. He's missing a key.
Yeah, no, it was pretty good. It was pretty good. But part of being a good pun is making you physically react, right? When you recoil at a pun, it did its job.
I didn't even catch your pun. I'm sorry.
No, I didn't catch the pun. It was Rocky2418 in chat.
I gotta find it. What was the pun? Ow! Son of a...
Are you okay over there? Because that was quite the pun reaction.
No, I was leaning back in my chair and one of my cats decided to, like, I was leaning back in such a way because he sometimes likes to claw the back of my chair, which I don't mind because this chair's like 8-9 years old and I don't care. He uses it as a scratching post, but my my back was against that spot where he likes to sharpen his claws, and he missed the chair and took his claws and down my back.
Oh no. Well, if you need to take for any reason, I'm happy to handle this. NDIAZ, he's making his way through Desert Palace. He got a heart piece from the vanilla big key chest. He's in the back now. Gonna clean up Land Molus. Should be super easy. He's got Fire Rod and Silver Arrows, which are both very quick kills.
Before I got attacked, I did see an X-ray get. I did see an X-ray get, and I did not see the other item that was found in Desert.
Piece of heart. So X-ray, a little bit late. The only thing left that we can really microwave is the Ninja Pirates in Lower Norfair. All right, Nova is going from Sanctuary to a Lumberjack. There we go. He's gonna make some progression here. So he's got his boots. He's gonna do Bonk Rocks, and then once he gets the Lumberjack item, he'll have his gravity suit, and he'll be set to go get those flippers and follow that progression that we've seen NDIAZ working on.
He will understand the gravity of the situation he is in.
Yeah, and he'll try to be as fired up as NDIAZ, who just took down Land Molus with the Fire Rod, which does 2 hits per head, so super easy, especially with half magic, so you can even miss a few times. Nova bonked the wrong tree on the other screen, got a bunch of bees, which lagged the game. Bonks the right tree, and also lags the game because apparently they just can't handle that many leaves. He's going to get his mushroom and be on the way to the potion shop shortly. Yeah, I'm sorry, chat. I don't have that many puns for you tonight. It's not like they grow on trees or anything.
Yeah, well, it's hard to come up with a good pun with this seed. It's it's slowly rolling along. Even I'm having difficulties with the puns. But I mean,
okay, this seed will grow into a fully fledged tree.
Yeah.
Okay, anyways, so Nova, he's making a beeline up Death Mountain here. He's going to have his, like, relatively speaking, he's going to have his Master Sword much earlier than NDIAZ had it. Didn't route it in quite the same way. He's going for hook speed here, and he's got hook speed. Got to watch out for these blue Tektites, and does not get hit. All right, cool. We're on our way into the portal while NDIAZ...
And we got a mirror shield and a energy tank at Big Bird here.
Oh, I didn't know you could... Wait, for reals? Does that work?
I don't think it does.
Yeah, I don't think it's doing what he expects it to do. I've never seen someone attempt to microwave the Gold Terizo fight. I think it only takes 1 shot per. Its invincibility frames take a bit of time to reset, so you can get double hits if you're crouching. Anyways, either way, fight's over. The experiment in X-ray scope usage seems to have had mixed results. Ozzy101 in chat, one of our veteran runners also in the tournament, points out that it sort of works, and I agree. It looked like it sort of worked.
I've never seen it done. That's news to me, and Nova is going to go fishing here in a minute.
Unlike Alphaba, when he goes to Meridia, he will not be defying gravity, so he should be all set to go through there. Any musical nerds in chat? Anyways, NDIAZ making his way through the lower Norfair pillars. Doesn't want to spend too much time in this acid, but he doesn't have speed booster or screw attack to get through the pillars quickly, and will be taking out these gold pirates here, probably with power bombs. He doesn't have morph ball bombs though, so I don't think I think he wants to be careful here and not use up too many of his power bombs. Otherwise, he'll have to farm at Fire Fleas before going down to the lower parts of Lower Norfair.
I would also like to point out he doesn't have screw attack either, so for him, it's going to be a little bit of rough one for him to get through this compared to what Nova will have when he goes through this. And there's our morph ball bombs.
Okay, so never mind. Power bomb issues alleviated. If you go into Lower Norfair, there's like spots that you can get stuck if you don't have enough power bombs or morph ball bombs. But if you make it all the way down to Ridley, you can farm them at the pre-Ridley room, and of course, if you're up here, you can farm them at Firefleas.
With having regular bombs, it's going to help, like he said, alleviate.
Oh man, we're even microwaving the key hunters. That's probably payback for, I'm sure, many times that key hunters have trolled him in the past. Nova opening up the tube here to go into Meridia. So what I think the vanilla game intends for you to do, I think the vanilla game wants you to come to Meridia for the first time through Forgotten Highway. And what that will do is it'll lead you to Spring Ball, and then it'll lead you left past the crabs, and you'll see already one broken open tube, and you'll be like, oh, that's so interesting. Here's a tube that's broken open. And so when you see the fully intact tube, you'll think, I might be able to break this open. And so it's like a bit of an environmental storytelling there. Anyways, on to the Ninja Pirates. Who are we going to microwave these two? No, he's just using super missiles. It's 3 supers, and you take them out.
Super Metroid does a good job telling a story through the whole game. And not having screw attack here is not going to hurt NDIAZ, but Nova, when he goes through this area, he's just going to like whip through it at the speed of sound on it.
Yep, he's on his way up here to Crab Supers. He's going to have his flippers in short order. So we're swimming in one game. We'll be able to swim in 2 in just a second. While NDS, he's pulling his 4th boss already in Super Metroid, the 2-hour, 20-minute mark. He's got Ridley on screen. Ridley takes 30 super missiles, which do double damage, I don't know the exact count. I want to say it's around 30 shots with charge ice plasma and no wave. But either way, he's got the ammo to do this or the backup strats of the charge beam, so it should be no problem clearing it out, and he's got a lot of energy.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the Ridley fight. I never have been, but you know, it's nice to see this bird on the screen to die. Because I can't, because he turns a different shade of red when he actually picks you up.
Yep, and he's flying slower, more consistently. NDS thought he was dead based on the speed that he was flying, but he wasn't quite yet. So, looking to be picked up here. That's the normal way for Ridley to kill you, but if you go for long enough without getting picked up, Ridley will just explode anyways.
I was not aware of that.
And
nobody picked. Yep.
Exactly.
And powder, magic bats and logic.
Oh no. Thankfully, with flute in hand, powder is a pretty convenient check. There aren't too many locations left to troll us other than the speed booster locked stuff, as far as what I'm thinking for places that are isolated. Maybe Shack Tool. If we get a late grapple beam, what if it's hang on. What if it's speed booster at plasma to hang on. Think about this. To shovel to what's the worst possible thing that could happen? Maybe
Swamp Palace Green Pendant.
I think Green Pendant is not that trolly because it's with there's 7 items in that dungeon. I don't feel like it's that inefficient of a thing to do. So I'm trying to think of the worst possible scenario to construct here for the runners. Something that hooks together in some fashion Waterway and the locked item and wreck ship and Shack Tool and Plasma in just one unholy union. That'd be amazing.
Well, let's see. Find speed booster where you said to get shovel. And shovel leads to... I don't know.
Oh wow, I didn't know you could damage these Namahes with morph bombs. But
You can't.
NDIAZ serving his ammo. Namahe, Namahu.
Now that song's stuck in my head.
Yeah, so nothing down there except a heart container, which is actually decent. NDIAZ has not got tons of heart containers in Link to the Past. He was kind of short earlier in the seed. We're going to come see the power bombs in jail over here, which is actually one of the items that took the longest for me to find in vanilla, because I didn't know that you could go left through the fake wall over here. It's an E-tank over there, so we probably won't see that unless he's desperate for a refill, but he's about to come out of here and be able to get fully restocked at like any of the farm spots if he even cares in Upper Norfair.
Yeah. And Nova's heading to Bot Woon.
As Chad is pointing out, given that NDIAZ left 2 checks behind in Meridia, he left Shack Tool, of course neither of them have Grapple Beam, and he left Plasma, which was in logic. If there's something, trolly, like something that leads to Ice Rod over there, that could be Nova's way back into the match. But as of right now, the boss progression deficit is pretty large. NDIAZ had 4 crystals and 4 SM bosses, while Nova's closing in on his 3rd SM boss and has 1 crystal. Actually, 2. I think he finished Pod. So yeah, 2 crystals, because he did Pod and Eastern together.
Shovel to grapple. Grapple to Shack Tool. Or Shack Tool. Shack Tool has Speed Booster.
Well, that wouldn't work because the shovel's behind Speed Booster.
Oh, no. Sorry. Speed Booster to... darn it. I lost my train of thought.
Okay, it's a complicated train to keep track of when you're trying to construct like terrible fetch quest scenarios.
Let's see here. Grapple to Shack Tool. Speed Booster. Okay, I give up.
That's fine. So Nova's going to make his way out of Meridia here. He's going through the back of Meridia portal, my favorite. This will lead him again conveniently right to the Lake Hylia Island for his first glove, and he'll be getting that around the 226 mark.
Morph was in Skullwood's big key chest, I think.
Ooh, can of Birna there, but with Cape already in hand, NDIAZ not even bothering to jump up and get it. Doesn't even want those supers because he's got charged plasma already. Oh, he's changing his mind. He wants Birna. I like Birna more than Cape because it feels like it activates a little bit quicker as far as the invincibility frames, and also it uses up less magic per second. So
that is very true.
Or certain times, like if you're fighting Vitreous without silvers, you want Cape because you can just stand there and do Cape slashes. It's not quite the same.
Blue Cane also causes a lot of lag in the Vitreous fight. And we got a swag net. Oh, come on, pick up the swag net.
Alright, so Nova, he's going to enter Desert through the front rather than going straight to the Dark World because he does not have a second glove. Right, he hasn't been to King's Tomb yet where he can get his mitts, so he has to go through Desert through the front. Okay, so we probably will see a quick check of the bottom right Bubble Mountain item here, and then back up over to the Cathedral item in, 2 screens to the left here.
I think we're going to see a Crocomire.
Yeah, almost. When you're this late in the seed, and you've had so many checks already... oh, just use your X-ray. No, what are you doing? What, hello?
Where's he going? He forgot about it.
Uh-oh.
Hope that doesn't bite him.
Oh, he changed his mind. He actually just remembered.
He's like, oh, it's one room over.
This seed has been so full of NDIAZ being like almost about to do a play and then being like, hey, wait, I think I forgot something, and changing his mind. But it's just a piece of art. So
Yes,
this
man.
route looks like he's not doing Croc, actually. I think he's going to prioritize the crystal dungeons that are open to him. Or at least crystal dungeon. He can do all of ice. He doesn't have a red cane for those other two dungeons.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, there's Swamp. It's like Swamp for a green pendant and Croc for 5 items are kind of comparable plays. Both are
Croc's
not
quicker.
necessarily required. Yeah, Croc is a little quicker, but again, 5 versus 7. It's a tough call, but you don't have, like with so many bosses down, but there are items missing to do 2 more of those bosses. You don't have a lot of great options like in path. So unless the red
He's
cane
doing
is in,
swamp.
yeah, you probably have to do one of these optional areas.
You know, and 7 is a scary number, you know. 7 is a really scary number to the smaller numbers. You know why?
Oh, because
7, 8,
yeah,
9.
yeah.
I
I just remember my childhood, how many times I was told that joke by like a dorky adult. Anyway,
it's one of those old jokes that don't get old.
yeah, he's gonna mirror in this swamp, lower the water in the dam. Nova getting a cheeky fairy refill there. I like that room. Before he goes to do the back end land molars.
I didn't even know
And
that
yeah,
room existed.
yeah, it's a great room. And where else? So after he gets out of swamp, also he'll be in close proximity to Bombo's tablet and K45, which are still unchecked.
Mm-hmm. Trying to remember which pot it is. I do the same thing if I was in Nova's shoes because I forget which pot it is.
Also, I think he just got an accidental key dash there. So key dashes work every 4 pixels. And for that room, you would have wanted to start on the bottom. But like every 4 pixel interval beyond that, if you key dash from there, you will go straight through the door rather than bonking off of it. So nice little like happenstance there for Nova.
Oh, so much money. This is a very rich seed. Link's loaded this seed.
Yeah, oh my god, we've got 177 7. I don't know how many times I said 7 already. Rupees for NDIAZ, and Nova has 1834. Like between them, they could probably buy like their own speed gaming channel.
Oh, of course.
How much does the intro cost?
I have no idea.
All right, Land Molas fight here. Nova going with silver arrow straps, which they're quick if you hit them. They're really slow if you miss them. And he has not hit one yet. He might want to switch to Fire Rod. Oh, good round there, though.
He got him on the second shot, or the second, or the third time. We have all the bug nets that we need.
That's the second crystal there, so three bosses? Wait, did he fight Dragon? Or did he just go straight to the Nova? He was so quickly from Batwoon to that check to the portal. I don't remember a Dragon fight. So it looks like 2 SM bosses, 2 crystals in Link to the Past, and we're probably going to get a Skullwoods completion here into a pedestal check, just like we had for NDIAZ earlier.
Trying to think if he did or not.
All right, well, NDIAZ doing the slow, but you kind of gotta have to if you don't want to orphan it, check of left side swamp. He's actually trying to... Oh, this is some high-tech tech. He's going for...
Diver down?
Except, wait, I thought that was in the back of Swamp Palace with the Cane of Samaria. What's this?
Anybody in chat know what this is?
Oh, this is Diver Down? What's the one where you do Canis Samaria to go through the...
Caneless diver down. There it is.
Oh my god. Wow.
Yeah.
So I don't watch Link to the Past solo rando races or anything like that. So this tournament is actually the first time I've seen a lot of the modern tech that was recently legalized, like Diver Down and what is it, Icebreaker, as well.
Yeah.
And Harapot has also been kind of trendier recently. That one too.
Parapot?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, that one's in Logic now, or not in Logic, but allowed.
Yeah, it's allowed. But I mean, the risk of Harapot is that you orphan an item in the big chest.
Hmm.
Another bottle. We got 4 bottles already. So we've already done the first 95 verses of 99 bottles of goo on the wall.
You say goo, I say something else, but to
Yeah.
each his own.
Family friendly theme here. We only drink green goo and Link to the Past.
I drink root beer. I mean, bottles of root beer, Barks root beer, those are things are delicious. Or bottles of cream soda. Barks cream soda in a bottle.
Like sarsaparilla style root beer
Ooh.
that comes in like bottles that you actually have to use a bottle opener for.
Mm-hmm.
Something missing, big key. NDS has had all kinds of techs where he didn't have the thing yet this game. Here we go. It's going to be Diver Down Part 2. He's very familiar, it looks like, with this the speedrun tech.
Without the cane. It's caneless diver down.
I mean, this is fascinating. We can't be saving time to have it fail this many times over just doing it the vanilla intended way, but I think he knows the trick probably well enough that he won't spend too much more time on it. And don't know where he's
Ooh, Nova taking a death on Mothula.
Oh yeah, Mothula is such a hard fight when you haven't had just like hours of practice on it.
Now, I would like to throw out him attempting this trick so many times is giving Nova a chance to make this a close race. And I mean,
If he's still here a half an hour later trying to get it, I definitely would agree.
I don't think Nova's that far behind.
He's got a whole bunch of bosses and crystals to do, unfortunately. He's left... Actually, I keep saying 2 crystals, but I'm pretty darn certain he finished Pod, unless our tracker maybe says otherwise. Does our tracker tonight remember if he by chance left the boss in Pod or maybe died in the basement or something? And yeah, NDIAZ gives up on the trick and is going back to the vanilla route.
With the slideshow we've had with Nova's stream, it's hard to tell what he's done or hasn't done.
Yeah, his internet has been better performing in the latter half of this race. So like well after all of the raids from the other speed gaming networks came in. There's a red cane.
That puts Meyer in Logic.
So wait, hang on. And
he's just
hang on. If he's gotten 6 items, I'm totally okay with that. But he was like right next to waterfall chest. At the very least, I think you do waterfall chest before mirroring out if you're still missing an item. If not, then it's fine. Because waterfall chest could have been like map or compass and then vice versa on Argus with the big key self-locking.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, and green pendant is an item too. You're so close to the end of the dungeon, just finish it, you know?
Yeah.
And having some trouble here on Mothula for Nova, but he's putting up a respectable show. He's not giving up. He's getting lower on magic though. I don't know if he's aware. There's a magic refill in the middle of Skullwoods. If you bomb a wall open and go to the right, that's kind of the nearest full magic. He might just be... Oh, he's going to repeatedly mirror and collect these small pots. There are actually 2 small pots in this room. If you, is it 3? No, it's 2 small pots, 2 hearts in this room if you pick up all the skull pots. But he doesn't know about all of them, so he's doing one at a time and then mirroring to refill. NDIAZ is into Ice Palace. This will be our first time seeing these checks. He's one-shotting all these Pen Gators with hook shot, and starts out with 10 arrows.
How many items is in this dungeon? Because I
3.
can't count past 2.
I think we're going to see him open up this room, go left, hit the switch in the top room, then come back to this room and go right for no, he's going straight in. So there are a couple different ways you can route Ice Palace now that are new based on using Icebreaker, but I think a safer way if you're intending to full clear it. Hang on, let me think about this. I think if you're full clearing it, this is fine because you're guaranteed to get the big key anyways. And also you have Canis Samarias, so maybe it doesn't matter that much. But if you are in go mode, you want to hit the switch in the room up from the middle of that four-way and then come right so that you can just quickly drop down to a cold stare. But it's a full clear, so this should be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and we got an update on our tracker. Nova does indeed have 3 crystals. He did pot a little while ago, so Skullwoods will be his 4th, and he'll be in decent footing, but he's just taken a while to farm up all this magic, because he wants to use the magic both to hit the torches and also to kill Mothula, because it's the easiest way to kill him right now.
Mm-hmm.
So Rocky2418 in chat actually reviewed the VOD, confirmed that there were 2 dungeon items remaining in Swamp Palace, so NDS is only left behind the green pendant, which is, I think in a race where you're versus like someone who's got a long history of putting up high finishes in the rando, you have to make cuts like that after getting a successful progression item out of a dungeon. But I think thoroughness definitely begets, or words are hard.
that English language will get you every time.
Thoroughness would benefit someone of NDIAZ's caliber because I think he can full clear both games fast enough to not orphan a single thing and miss like a required ice rod somewhere in this particular matchup.
Ooh, Nova, be careful. Mothula is one of those trolley bosses. It's like right up next to Trolldorm with the spikes and the movie floor and the.
This is worse, I think, but they're close. They're both really bad. And
No,
then there's like Master
I was watching it.
Whatever.
I was watching it. Randomizer. You know what I'm talking about? And there's our bacon sword.
That is all 3 items, I believe, in ice that we've seen. So we just need to make our way downstairs.
He has the big key. He's like, wait a minute, I got the big key. I just did the big key chest.
It's so weird to route the dungeon like this. He's seen there was a reserve tank in Ice Tea? Not Ice Tea. There was a reserve tank somewhere. There was the 10 arrows.
It was Ice Tea.
The sword. So what is he in here for?
He needs.
Maybe he needs a small key for something.
He needs.
He needs to hit the switch.
Yeah, he needs to hit the switch.
Oh, this is so weird, man. I don't even know if you're saving time at this rate with this kind of icebreaker route. And yeah, as chat points out, we just made Ice Rod for Go mode on NDIAZ's side, but Ice Rod is anywhere X. That's it.
Uh-huh.
And there are orphaned locations in both games.
Yeah. It's going to be one of those long seeds tonight, guys, so grab a drink and relax and enjoy the show.
Yeah, perhaps try some sarsaparilla. So we got a cold stare fight here for NDIAZ. He's using Fire Rod with half magic to break open the ice, and then using a sword spin to get the puffs cornered. Uses a bunch of tempered sword slashes. Is low HP, but he got all the puffs down, so no worries. And that key though does mean that this dungeon was logically Samaria locked, but there's nothing behind it because it's a regular crystal, so it's of no significance.
Mm-hmm. At the moth.
Yeah. Nova doesn't have to do this boss now, right? He might think that like maybe this dungeon is progression item-wise and he needs it, but he doesn't have to do it. He could say this till later, till say after getting either another mail upgrade or another sword upgrade if he's having this much trouble. It's usually not that good in a randomizer to beat your head against the same thing repeatedly for too long and risk not making progress elsewhere, especially when a thing can be easier if you come back to try it again later.
Mm-hmm.
You can see some rage slashes already there. Alright, Mire time for NDIAZ. This is full clearable thanks to that red cane and Quake medallion.
I'm trying to think what he has left in Super Metroid.
NDIAZ or Nova?
NDS.
He's got Shack Tool, Plasma, that shovel that's behind Speed Booster, that Waterway and Shaft. Actually, no, he checked Shaft Supers. It was nothing.
It was
Waterway.
blue bars.
Yeah. So Waterway.
Speed lock locations and grapple lock.
Yeah. Plus Plasma, which has been in Logic for a while.
Yeah, because he can get screw attack from Zora. He just has to make the trip up there.
And Plasma itself, like we have the Plasma Beam, right? That's what you
Oh
are
yeah,
intended
yeah.
to.
Oh yeah, that's yeah. I forgot about that. Oops.
Even
Because-
without those things, like certain runners who know the other ways to kill the pirates and escape the room will do that check aggressively no matter what their loadout is when they go in. So we don't have speed booster, but you can kill those pirates with short charges. And also with beam if you body screw into them. But Nova finally clearing Mothula, so congrats. He got through one of the most difficult bosses in the game on Master Sword, and he's finally able to put that behind him. Does not mirror over to check the pedestal. I think he's just going to wrap up the dungeon. He, with his mirror in tow, he could maybe do the same thing and head east across the North Dark World here after leaving Skull Woods, and that would pick him up his Titan mitts. Oh! What was that? NDIAZ just clipped through from across the top of that barrier.
I've missed it.
Seen that. He was coming down from like the top left portion of Mire there, and he just went straight across that barrier with his boots. Yeah, he's showing off so much cool Link to the Past tech. I'm gonna have to ask him about that in the interview afterwards. All right, second shield for Nova there, opening the big chest in Skull Woods. He actually got that bomb jump successfully. That's one he learned recently. He didn't have to open up the room behind it.
I would have to open up the room behind it. I don't do bomb jumps. I really need to practice Link to the Past, but I'm not going to.
Big key found for NDIAZ in the that
compass
with the step. Yeah, and he's headed down to the cutscene because this is a full clear. All right. Go ahead.
Oh. I don't know. Just ignore what I say. Well, don't completely ignore what I say, but I'm just eh.
Alright. Is making that route across the Dark World. Really good stuff here for him because this will lead to his Titan mitts. And that'll put him, if he takes the Titan mitts and fills up with Mountain, he'll get his Various suit. He'll be well on his way. Swamp Palace is open to him, so whenever he decides to dip into that pendant, he'll get his red cane. Remains to be seen though, because he does have a lot of game left in front of him.
Oh yes, he does.
Ooh, nice! Oh my gosh, Hammer Dash!
Hammer Dash through the door. But he still has a few checks left in this dungeon, so I mean I can understand that.
This route is intense. I've literally never seen someone full clear Mire this way. This is the memeiest of memes.
It's like watching Alu. It's like watching Alu go through Fishbone's room.
Yeah. Oh my god, it's actually pretty efficient.
Nova, go back. No,
never seen that.
Nova, go back. Go back.
Oh.
Oh no.
Oh wait, by jumping down, he doesn't have Dark World portal there, and he doesn't have mitts, so he's actually not going to be able to get his mitts. This is really bad. Okay, so
well, this is a race. This is a seed.
He's already checked this chest down here, though. Like, he saw the map in Dark Cross earlier.
He died.
Oh, he died. Oh, never mind. All right, so then he's gonna. Actually, he should have deduced by this point that the map is there, but he might not be thinking that far back in the past. Because this was like 2 hours ago. We were down here.
Yeah. Oh my! I didn't realize it's almost 3 hours into the seed. So this guy, guys, this is a seed. It is very trolly. It is very backtracky, and it's oh, he forgot.
He actually there for NDIAZ. He's trying to hit the switch in the other room.
I would like to remind everybody, please follow these amazing runners for, just remember to follow the runners. And
so as chat points out, so this ice rod, right? Like,
can be anywhere.
We're not in go mode. We have multiple crystals left and scattered locations in both games. Where in God's name is this ice rod going to be?
Well, we could go. I mean, it's. I want to say it's locked behind Speed Booster.
Oh, Speed Booster on Laser Bridge to.
Oh. No. Yeah, Speed Booster to Laser Bridge. Speed Booster on Laser Bridge. I'm trying to think where else it could be. I'm thinking of a route. Hold on. Bear with me.
No. What did we just... what are you talking about? I must have missed something. NDIAZ was doing his Vitreous kill. Nova is entering Swamp Palace. Tempered Sword is in Ice Palace. I'm trying to catch up on what chat is reacting to.
No, we don't want Ice Rod in Mimic Cave. If we want this seed to continue being what it is, speed on Laser Bridge.
Oh, yeah. So,
speed on Laser Bridge.
Speed on Laser Bridge to like some kind of shack tool.
Garbage. Speed to shovel. Shovel to grapple beam. Grapple beam to shack tool, and shack tool has Ice Rod.
That'd be great. So Nova making the play into Swamp Palace here. I like this. He's going to get his red cane, and if he takes it all the way to Green Pendant, and Green Pendant is Ice Rod, all he'll have to do is go get those mitts in the midst of various sequence. So, Green Pendant right now, that is the shining hope for Nova.
Yeah.
Yes, cleaning up some of these other Mitzlock checks here. The Smith Sequence Hammer pegs is something that we couldn't do earlier.
We can also check Magic Bat Wayward. Oh, that's a Spring Ball.
Ball. As Wild Anaconda would say. I was about to say Wild Card. Wild Card is Wild Anaconda plus Alucard, their team Wild Card. Those are two runners, like elite runners at the game who are also like beta testers and everything for combo.
Yeah.
All right, what do the Smiths have for us? We'll have to give them a meager 10 gold, but in exchange, we'll get a little piece of love.
I didn't know they required money.
Yeah, it's very token amount. At this point, you usually don't notice it, but sometimes you get those really like poor Dark World runs where you're having to like farm just to get Kiki money.
Yeah, but it's easy. You can play the arrow game.
Tried. So I saw Andy do that one time, and I was like, "Oh, easy. If I don't have money for Dig Game, I just go play the Arrow game. $20 for NDIAZ. I'll have Magic Bat." But then I tried it and I failed it repeatedly, and it ended up losing money.
Well, that's what you call taking a shot in the dark, right there.
Ooh, yeah. All right. So left side swamp here. Check for no. He's got to. He's got the keys, so he's not going to flood it. Yeah, should be good here to clear through swamp.
Mm-hmm.
Thankfully, can just be fluted or flouted. I don't think we saw NDIAZ do the other nearby check. So he swamp so quickly with that red cane that he kind of orphaned Bombo's tablet in Cave 45, and he'll need to go back to those.
Mm-hmm. And just some money. And he missed his duck.
Chat,
X-ray has been checked. It was just I think an energy tank or something.
Tap in chat is pointing out that Nova might not know that he can get into King's Tomb without the mitts. That's a possibility, but he is using a tracker, so as we were saying earlier, if he's following whatever his tracker shows us in logic, he should see a green check there. I think he might have just like maybe mistracked or something. I'm not sure what took him so long to get to Skull Woods earlier. Alright, so now NDIAZ is routing. He's back in the Dark World. He's routing in K45, and this should be Bombos following this. The chest has been turned in. It was 300 rupees. Nova takes a death on left side swamp. That's an inconvenient place to die. Swamp is one of those dungeons that has a lot of intro before you can actually go in and start doing stuff, kind of like Mire. Dying just sets you back, makes you have to do all this like repeat screens. Maybe he'll just follow that and go to the back of the dungeon immediately and get his red cane instead. Oh no, that's a mirror bonk there for NDIAZ. Gets sent back. Alright, and Nova is indeed going to head up to the top section of Swamp Palace, get his red cane. Power bombs on Bomba's tablet, so the remaining checks are whittling down. Spike Cave is on Death Mountain, still hasn't been done. We got everything in TR that's not Trinex. We got Mimic Cave, Shack Tool, Plasma, and then pending, of course, Speed Booster, Shovel, and Waterway.
Silver Rain, to answer your question, this is an SMZ3 randomizer. Both games meshed into one.
Silver Rain might have been asking a different question. Silver Rain is a runner in this tournament, I believe, and is a quite good runner.
Oh, I didn't. Oh, what you typing? Oh. I forgot. My keyboard is quite loud. Oh, I forgot about Big Bomb. Yeah.
Right, so Pyramid Fairy, I said early on, hey, we probably won't do this check. It's pretty late. Mire is a late dungeon, yada yada. But yeah, totally valid here. This could be our Ice Rod.
Mm-hmm.
Nova's going all the way to the back in the Swamp Palace, so we're gonna get a green pendant check too from him in a couple minutes. Please continue. Please keep going. Please no, don't leave. No.
Oh, what did he not get to? And that's Ether. Did he get his red cane?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Did he actually do the sunken chests? He
did.
Hang on. Yes, he did. Okay, cool. I was so focused on the Pyramid Fairy check I missed the.
I saw him mirror. That's about it.
Okay, so green pendant, boy. Now they've both orphaned green pendant. So if it's green pendant, Ice Rod, rip. This will be our first catfish check, though. This was opened not a long time ago. It opened up after we got that glove from.
Failure to communicate. Ice Rod cannot be on Trinex.
Yeah, I said except for Trinex, right?
Well, no. See, Speed Booster cannot, like, at the beginning of his chain, he has Speed Booster, Trinex, and Speed Booster on Trinex.
Name in chat is failure to communicate. I thought you were saying I failed to communicate something about the location of Ice Rod.
Oh.
Yeah. So this will be a Zora check here for NDIAZ. He's going to pick up his Screw Attack. Way after he needs it, though, because he's already cleared so much of SM. In fact, at this point, it's kind of an inconvenience because you want to menu it off for Zeb Skip. So what do we got? Yeah, we've done the rundown of remaining locations a couple times. Inside TR is probably the most convenient because then you just single dip the dungeon and you're clear. You don't have to do all the scattered stuff. But man, if it's green pendant, it's going to troll both of them so hard.
Yeah, and Zora's just screwing around, you know, holding that item. Come on, India or Nova. No, NDIAZ is going into Turtle Rock, and I respect this decision on his part,
Yep.
and because a lot of these dungeons, Pod has been double dipped. Skullwood's double dipped.
Yeah, you're right. Skullwoods was double dipped. We haven't seen Croc.
No.
Also, this is an interesting route here.
Where's Nova going? He's
Sorry,
forgetting.
NDIAZ is just taking a roundabout way to get up to the top of East Death Mountain. I think it's faster to just go right and walk up the stairs, but he used this screen with the bomb jump instead. Maybe he wants to practice the bomb jump since he failed it earlier. There he goes. Nova, he's gonna get that spike or that spike cave check that we didn't see earlier. So Croc, spike cave, TR, mimic cave, plasma shack, shovel, waterway.
Now you needed the cane in vanilla of Link to the Past. You need the blue cane to get through this, right?
You can get cape before this, right? Oh,
Speed booster. Oh, that is a big find for Nova.
So here's the thing: if NDIAZ goes through Turtle Rock, gets denied, does not find the ice rod, his natural next check has to be Spike Cave because he's on Dark Death Mountain. So unless he completely forgot it, I think he's safe if that in fact is locking the ice rod.
Chad Croc was in logic before the speed boosters because he could power bomb down. Oh no, it's not. Wait. No, wait beam. I forgot about that.
But I mean, it's possible to sequence break it, right? So like Croc.
Yeah, that's why I always said you can go to Croc. I mean, but you were thinking the same thing as I was. My bad. I'm not a runner.
I wasn't saying it was in logic because before we found that speed booster, waterway and shovel weren't in logic. I'm just saying like locations in the game that are even exist, right? Because we're down to that point where there's so little left that's even like available on the map.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so it would be worst case scenario here. NDIAZ gets all the way to Laser Bridge and he doesn't find an ice rod. Nova goes through these checks. He gets his shovel maybe from wreck ship, or maybe diverts to waterway first. One of those two leads to ice rod. He gets the single dip TR, but then he's still behind by a Dragon, a Ridley, an Ice Palace, and a Misery Mire. So he's got a lot of territory to make up. Plus he needs his mitts, which he might last location in order to get to his Varia. All right, this is interesting. So Nova, he's reset to the pyramid, as one does. One has mirror after killing Aga. Where's he going? Is this a Dragon kill? He might be headed back to the Meridia portal. Yep, that's got to be where he's going at this rate. Yeah, he noped out of the Dragon fight for whatever reason. Even though I know he's super comfortable with Super Metroid, he might have just wanted to rush back into Link to the Past for his glove back when he was here. So he's gonna route this in. Go do Dragon, maybe check Plasma, maybe Shack Tool. I don't know if he knows the ice clip. I think he's done it. He's done a lot of the. We got a half heart NDIAZ over here in the chain shop room, getting extremely trolled. He's got blue mail, so they do a decent amount of damage still. Oh my god. Oh, and he's still not okay, he's safe now. And he's got powder, so he can kill the anti-fairies here for life. Easy game. Never in doubt. Alright, so Nova's back in Meridia. He's actually gonna do... Yep, Dragon. This will be 2 checks we've seen at Precious Missiles and the item behind Dragon. And then maybe a Plasma check.
Yeah, these missiles are so precious. My precious. The Golem missiles. This bouncy thing. And what's the name of that enemy?
That is, I think I actually know that. A
A pokey? It can't be a
oh
pokey.
yes, it is. Yes, you're right. You're right.
No, a chat told me it's a pokey.
Oh, okay.
I didn't want. I wanted to say pokey, but it's like.
Yeah. I knew it started with a P, but I was like, Puyo? No, Puyo is the thing that you freeze to clip the shack tool.
And now Nova has the X-ray beam, so he can microwave the shrimp.
Ooh, delicious.
I want some shrimp. I got shrimp in my freezer. I want to cook it so bad.
Yeah, some fried shrimp with some cocktail sauce right now would be like the bomb. All right, Nova looks like he's switching back to any percent strats here. He's gonna do a Shine Spark kill on Dragon.
Because he
let's kill
can.
Dragon. Let's get the blue suit out of it. I think he might have gotten hit one extra time and maybe lost the suit.
Mm-hmm.
And he does the same damage boost NDIAZ did to bounce his way back through the drops. NDIAZ is on sword spin and beam strats here to kill the mimics rather than like switching to hammer or grabbing
pull
the wall.
Yeah, pull strat. I've noticed that the pull strat is very convenient. I like the pull strat. Now Nova is probably going to go check plasma. Hopefully, whatever it is. I don't know what it is, but
so the pro move here in combo, because you've got access to the back of Meridia portal, is to save outside Dragon. Then you can reset if you don't like plasma and go through the portal to leave SM. He's not even doing that though. Because this is maybe a shack tool check. Either that or he just forgot how to leave Meridia in combo. No, he just came through the portal. Wait, where's he going? Is it
sandpit? He hasn't done sandpits.
Oh, that's so weird. I would have expected him to have already checked sandpits. Yeah, trying to figure out a runner's like potential route when you haven't seen them play a game that many times is certainly a puzzle sometimes. Because like I watch a lot of combo, but I watch like community races and stuff, and frequently the restreams have the same like top of the SRL leaderboard runners who you can kind of know, okay, they're going to go to this place and then they're going to do the optimal route and they're going to do this strat and whatever strat. So when you're watching runners who you don't have as much experience seeing, there are a lot of nice surprises that keep things fresh. And yeah, apparently this is how he wanted to route in the sandpits. We're on the laser bridge. Red mail's nice, not required.
Ooh, getting knocked off. And I think Nova's going to go for... where's he going? I'm confused.
Oh,
Ice Rod.
Go mode.
That
305 NDIAZ is in go mode. Ice Rod on laser bridge, the most convenient remaining possible spot for it. Unfortunately, with that, I want to say all of the last hopes for Nova have been dashed.
Yeah.
There's not even an item in like GT that could be required. Like for example, we have boots and we have Canis Samaria, so nothing could block us from full clearing GT for the big key.
Yeah, that's sad to see.
Still, might see some cool stuff. Like, I don't know, there might be still some quality of life items somewhere out there in the game that Nova could pick up here on his checks, but just a bloopy at the Pirates, the Plasma Pirates. NDIAZ already has the first head down, finishes off the second head of Trinex, and Trinex, of course, has 3 necks, so there's one more neck to sever, and it is this big, turtly-looking...
I finally get it. Trinex. Ha! I finally get it.
That also stands for when you come in here with like Master Sword and no half magic and you die and you have to come back, that's when you try next.
Ah, I see what you did there.
Oh my god, it's that time. So the way this game routed, TR actually ended up being the last crystal while we were on Death Mountain with the Ice Rod so we could finish it. And all the other bosses are done. So chat is way ahead of us. They're guessing something.
All right. Big key guessing game. Where do you think the key will be, sir?
I like to go with 11.
I'm gonna go at 8 because that's usually my pick. But the last gas seed I watched, it was in tile room, so I'm gonna say rando room 13.
I'm down with that. Seems good. If it's Rando Room and NDIAZ does Dark Magician, that would be like the last place he gets to. But I actually don't know how he routes GT.
Oh, I don't either. I watched Alu do this seed, and it was sadly for a second chest big key.
I mean, a quick big key here would make the broadcast shorter. For the sake of like our voices. Oh, hey, look, there's a grapple beam.
Hey, there's that grapple beam to Shaq Tool. Hey, Shaq Tool's in Logic.
Maybe Shaq Tool has our wave beam, and we'll just never get that. Oh, that's like a quality of life item. Nova could find. He could find wave beam, which makes Torian a little faster because it's easier to hit the Metroids, and also it makes your stand-up glitch on Mother Brain faster.
I think my brain is shot, but it was shot before.
Yeah, this seed has not been a kind one for brains. Ooh, that's quick. That
And
was
that 1, 2, 6. Yeah, 6. Who had 6?
Oh, Oki Tengu in chat.
Before that, our tracker had it.
Oh, yeah, actually, our tracker. Whoa, you are you're clairvoyant.
Yeah, but okay, Tangu. Hey, I know that guy.
Yeah, well, I mean, he got it, and so did our tracker. And you know what they say? It takes 2 to Tengu.
Yes, you beat me to it. I was gonna say that. And you win a lifetime supply of Randomizer.
Yeah, I think so. I want to say for some of the ALTTPR races, there's actually like a bot with a running count or whatever, or maybe for some channels. But I don't know if we do that for combo.
No, it's well, there. I mean, there is a command and whatnot. People have access to do the maybe.
He's making the waterway check, going backwards through that gate with missiles through Green Bryn, and we're gonna see maybe wave beam down here. NDS, he's making his way through the gauntlet in GT, climbing up. These rooms get progressively harder. Ooh, nice snipe there with the silver arrows. I also wanted to call out, he had a nice dash back through the rotating spikes a couple rooms ago. He's gonna fight these Zyzax, is it Zyzax, and Stalfoses, and these Beamoses, and just all the badness, plus try to navigate the ice, try to get that heart. I find that sometimes in this room, if you go out of your way for a heart, you end up losing more hearts in the process.
And Nova found the Retta ring, the Laga ring, at Waterway. We know where he needs to go.
Yep.
To finish the seed, he needs to make his way to.
Oh, actually, if he goes Death Mountain, sorry, if he gets his mitts, which of course he does need to clean up, and he orphaned them earlier. Then when he goes to Death Mountain, he can Varia, but then immediately go into TR, right? And he'd be able to clear out that crystal and get his ice rod.
Yeah.
If he decides to make that play.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
short hop speedball here.
Sadly, I mean, the play he needs to make is...
No, the play he needed to make was that speedball right there. He got it. Good job, Nova. But yes, so he needs his mitts from King's Tomb, which is again an awkward place to have mitts, but I've had them there before. And NDS, he's making such quick progress. He's already through a bunch of the boss refights here in GT. He's up to the lantern rooms. Gonna pass through this mini Helmasaur room, and then he's got the this like moving platform bomb spiky thing room, followed by the anti-fairy room. I don't know what they're called. I'm just making up names. And then he's going to be on to Troll Dorm 2.
Mm-hmm.
I would have opened that chest for Wave Beam if I were NDIAZ, but anyway. So all right, one hit. So he's got Tempered Sword, which means he's going to want 3 slashes. Yeah, and he's going for this 3-slash approach. Ooh, all right, avoids the troll, and Moldorm down. Though he can't switch to his hook shot while Moldorm is dying, so he's got to wait.
Really? I thought you could.
Yeah, there are certain bosses where their death animation like stops you from menuing. So Trinex, you want to pre-switch to your other rod whenever you're finishing off one of the heads, and for Moldorm 2, you want to switch to hookshot beforehand, so that as the chest is spawning, you can hookshot over the gap. All right, how many rounds is Aga 2 going to be? His Aga 1 was pretty fast. And, oh, starts with a triple. Great place, but also like really lucky positioning there. 2? Ooh, if he'd gotten an energy ball there, he might have been able to finish that off. So triple into a double, into a single. Great 3-2-1 there for
3-2. Yeah, I was about to say it.
And you know what happens now? It's 3-2-1 go time. We are going to fight the final boss of Link to the Past.
The big
While
pig.
Nova is make the big bet on this shovel. Man, if Ice Rod hadn't been in
There.
TR and it had been behind this shovel or something, oh, what a world it could have been.
Oh yeah. Oh. Where's he going?
He's
He's
go
going to
up
get the shovel. He's
the
going to
shovel,
get that
sorry.
shovel. And he's
All right,
going to have
so
to.
win and fight here for NDIAZ. The first 2 forms each take 12 Tempered Sword spins or 6 Tempered Sword slashes, and of course, if you can get them up next to the wall, you can get those double spins off to really speed up the fight. The fire bat phase doesn't start actually taking damage until the animation of the spinning trident starts.
Really?
So yeah, so you have to wait to actually have your slashes counted there. So you didn't one cycle it, so he's gonna have to get a couple more slashes and spins in here, but he should be through it after this one.
New Life says 6 spins, 12 slashes.
Is that what I said?
That's
I might have
what,
said those backwards, but yeah.
did you
Anyways, on
say
to
12
phase
slashes?
3. You just need to do any kind of spin or slash. Any damage on Ganon in this phase will prompt him to go to the next spot once he stops teleporting, and he'll knock out the corners of the room to make those dangerous pits that you can fall into. And between this last one here, he's going to move where he can possibly be hit with the silver arrows, which he is. Okay, so NDIAZ prioritizing the multi-hit over getting torch glitch. So the torches go out. He gets batted, and
Almost fell.
Wow, that would have been like, this is a pretty free fight with his loadout. And in fact, he got another double there. So single
Can we
G's
get-
in chat. Yeah.
Can we get a big G in chat or a little G, whichever you prefer, in chat for NDIAZ for taking down the big pig? I want to know where this shovel leads.
Come on, wave beam. I just want to see someone get wave beam to like complete the loadout. All right, so we've reset to the ship in Super Metroid, as one typically does after finishing off Ganon. We might, but we don't necessarily have to see a refill. Yeah, we're not actually going to see a refill here. So because NDIAZ has such a good beam combo, he's going to rely on getting just whatever ammo and drops come off of the Metroids. It kind of doesn't matter. And he's using bombs there, even though he has secret attack. And he'll get to Mother Brain and probably just use charge shot strats. Should be pretty quick. It'll be the same number of shots as it would have been on Ridley, because Ridley and Mother Brain have the same HP. Mother Brain 2.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the difference is that Ridley takes double damage from supers, so it's 30 supers Ridley, 60 supers Mother Brain, but the same number of charged plasma shots. Yeah, and without Speed Booster, chat points out that when we're getting through our Torian escape, after Mother Brain decides to blow up the planet, we will have to take the long way. No Speed Booster to conveniently get us through the third room of the escape, and also we won't be able to spark up the shaft, so we'll have to just like wall jump. But yeah, NDIAZ netting a lot of energy. Shovel doesn't turn into anything useful here, so Nova, unfortunately, is going to be a bit saddened by that. He spent all that effort going to check the speed booster lock stuff. But yeah, NDIAZ won't be able to spark out. He got through all the Metroids, got a bunch of energy, which he's going to immediately need to drain down unless he knows Baby Skip. I'm not sure what his Baby Skip status is. All right, cool. So we went for the immediate jump into the baby. Faced left, though, so we're going to lose 40 frames, SMH, as we did not face right. There'll be a standing up animation here for Samus that there would not be from the right, because apparently the animators just didn't make one facing the other way.
Oh, I am looking forward to my quieter keyboard because it keys
Nova,
up my mic every time.
Yeah, Nova is a little bit maybe stuck here thinking about plays that are open. He has sequence broken a little bit, but otherwise mostly stayed in logic, so that might explain why he's not going to something like Croc.
Well, he has Speed Booster. He can go to Croc right now if he wanted to.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Speed Booster is in logic for him. Which is weird to say because for so much of the seed it wasn't for either runner.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, Croc isn't actually because it requires a small hell run, and in normal logic, even a single hell running is out. All right, are we gonna see a? Ooh, no. Okay, so missed. Oh, there we go. There we go. Got the Rinka. So without Wave Beam, you have to get into a funky kind of position there in order to aim directly up from underneath to hit the Rinka there and get your frozen Rinka that you can stand on and then do the Zeb skip. And without Speed Booster, that's the only Zeb skip that's possible is an ice Zeb skip. With Wave Beam, it's so much easier. That's something I declined to mention earlier when I was talking about reasons to get Wave Beam. It increases our damage, makes Metroids easier, and it makes Zeb skip easier.
Oh. All right, we're into the Mother Brain fight.
This he's dumping in missiles, which is pretty respectable DPS relative to a waveless beam combo, but he's probably going to end up switching to charge shots for the last little bit of damage. Each of these, 3 of these missiles, and he started with about 120 or 100, something like that. It's 3 missiles is a super missile, so he would get about 40 supers or 2/3 of the way through the health bar on Mother Brain with just the missiles, and needs about 8 or so charge shots from that point to finish it off. And Nova is he's in the Dark World. He's going through this portal, which is good because that's going to put him in North Dark World and near the location of those mitts. NDIAZ, he's going to just say heck it. Refill. Oh, he's going to get auto refilled here from his reserves. He took too many hits, but it's okay because he has reserve energy.
Yeah, how much?
It's always spooky because if you die there without a save, you're resetting your entire Torian.
Yeah, that would be sad to see.
Nova, yeah, he's in North Dark World. He's heading east from Skull Woods, so this could be the play. He's gonna
Okay, make it the mitts. Make it the mitts. We believe in you. You can do it.
If anything, it'd be nice for him to finally get to a point where he's unstuck before this race like ends on NDIAZ's side, because there's nothing remaining really that can stop NDIAZ. He didn't go for any of the risky stand-up glitch stuff, so no soft luck potential here. He's just going to play this out, see the cutscene, and unless he Leodoxes the escape, he should be good to go.
Oh, I think he's making the play. He's making the play. That's good.
Yeah. For Hypernova.
Oh, come on, those pose. They appear after Aga dies.
Ooh, look at all those ghosties flying around the graveyard. That's something you only see after Aga is dead.
I think I said. Yeah, I was pointing that out. Like, there's a lot of enemies. Hey, he has his mitts. Come on, Nova. You can do it. There's still hope. I believe.
Right. We've got kittens and he's got mittens.
Now Nova has a real grasp on the situation he needs to do.
Yeah, I don't have a follow-up there, so we'll just let that one hang. So NDS has finished off Mother Brain. He's just got an escape left to go.
Oh, and Nova fell down.
It's Mire time for Nova. Also Mire Shed and Checkerboard Cave and all that stuff he wasn't able to do before. And with a Red Cane, he will probably go for the Mire full clear here, since he didn't do Death Mountain first to possibly get his go mode.
Yeah. Well, no mode for him. Now, NDIAZ could make a mistake and die on his way, like get stuck or something. He did turn back on Screw Attack because he does not have Speed Booster to make this a little bit faster for him.
Screw Attack helps you get past these pirates without getting too trolled. It gives you invincibility frames, and you can Screw Attack your way through some of them in that first shaft. And then it's just, yeah, a little bit of wall jumping up here, and we will be good to go. Using left wall strats here, I'm a big fan. It's kind of weird. There aren't a lot of walls you spend a lot of time jumping up from the left side in Super Metroid, especially in Rando. So like that kind of flexes your hands a little bit differently. All right, a couple of steams to get past here, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, all right. He's good. He's good. That's it. Lock it in. NDIAZ finished in first place with an official SRL time of 3 hours, 26 minutes, and 6 seconds. Get out your GGs in chat for NDIAZ. And we are joined in chat by NDIAZ, who has been done for 10 minutes thanks to stream delay. So welcome. GGs. Congrats on advancing to brackets.
Thank you.
All right, so I think the best place to start with that seed is where that seed started. So let's talk about fired alpha PBs to like an AGA and all that stuff.
Yeah, it's all kind of a blur after that.
It was interesting. Were you thinking Aga when you saw that cape?
Yep. Yeah, I was just like, I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna get a sword soon. Find lamp. Otherwise, I'll just go do it. It was kind of pending that way.
Yeah.
Are you comfortable with lampless AGA?
Yeah, it's not so bad. If you have an item that you can see, like the hook shot, you just kind of poke your way around.
Oh yeah.
I have to ask, when you were trying to get into the dark world without those minutes, do you even lift, bro?
I don't. I really don't.
You did it twice, and I was like, that little meme came to my head.
Yeah, I was so confused.
Like most of the time,
I was thrown off after the after trying to do that fake flipper, and then I was like, oh, it doesn't work. And then I was like, I guess I'll just go to the dark world the other way.
Yeah, that was just all around hilarious. Your run gave us a lot of like funny sort of meme material between all the skips you tried or succeeded at. Especially there was a really cool one in Mire where you like jumped over a wall.
Yeah. So it's the same as the icebreaker one in Ice Palace. I just learned that today. When you do a run and a left input, it moves you down 2 pixels, which will put you over the edge of the railing, and you can just run over.
That-
But it only works in a doorway. It's really similar to what happens in the doorway going right in Ice Palace.
Okay, and we also to let chat know we have the official confirmation. Hypes Nova did forfeit from the race, so he will not be finishing this one out. And yeah, this seed. So let's try and see if we can piece it back together. It was Agar required, forced your way into Pod. Pod had Ice Beam. Ice Beam was your logical way up Red Tower. Red Tower had a hammer, which would eventually lead you back to Pod, but more importantly, got you to West Dark World for your Morph Ball, to eventually get your boots, and your Space Jump, to get your boots and wreck ship, to then come back and get a gravity suit at off the fetch quest from Lumberjacks. Like, what the heck?
GG to you, Nova, for joining us.
Hey, thanks.
GG.
Nova, I have to ask, why did you put off going to Skullwoods so long?
I forgot that you could get items from there.
That's
That
And then I was
Yeah.
like, oh wait, but I could get the big key. And then the big key didn't come up, but I still found Morph. And finding Morph there was the worst.
Right?
well, when by the time you fake flippered before going back to Skullwood, you fake flippered up to Zora, and when you went up there, you had enough money to pay off the big fish who was just screwing around with your item, and you got that, which made a lot of your checks that NDIAZ did a little bit quicker, but at that point you lost a lot of time, sad to say. That finding that morph is that putting off that morph really is where you lost most of your time, sir.
Oh yeah.
And it was in the worst chest. That's my least favorite. Sometimes I skip that one, and I was like, oh, I won't skip it today.
The big
I honestly
key chest.
forgot it existed.
Yeah.
And Indiaz, if you didn't die, were you thinking about checking the big chest and pod when you went back to kill Helmasaur? Like you were heading that way and then you died and you just like, nope, not happening, and just went ahead and killed Helma?
I think I first on my first time in, I did the hammer jump. First time doing it in a race,
nice.
which was fun. And then I was like, I made the incorrect conclusion. I was like, oh, I have a key. That means to use a key to get to the big chest, that must be a little key. And then I completely forgot about pod right side. So the second time through, I gambled and said, if I find the last item on Helmasaur, then I know it's the map big chest, and it was.
Yeah, there were a couple of dungeons where you kind of conveniently got to skip portions of them because of knowing or lucking into whichever. The dungeon items being somewhere that you hadn't checked yet. You left Swamp early, both of you did, and I just thought with Ice Rod out there and so few locations left, like pushing Argus to Green Pendant was probably not that bad of a check, but neither of you did it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's an extra like 4 or 5 minutes for 3 more items, and I was like, I feel behind. I need to get moving. And Turtle Rock was feeling pretty dense at that point for items.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good point. And also, if you get the item in Turtle Rock there, right, that's like you get to just wrap it up and not have to do all those loose end checks.
I'm going to throw myself under the bus. Me and Cheese were thinking about really trolley routes of what could lead to what, like grapple beam lead to speed through Shack Tools, or Shack Tools speed leads to the shovel leads to Ice Rod. Yeah, we were being mean commentators on, but like the way the seed's been going or went, that's something this seed probably would have done. I'm gonna just admit it right there. It's like, yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen a seed get that deep in the logic, actually. So, yeah. I don't know. There's some kind of like somebody out there who's better at this than me knows the stats on it. Like,
It usually doesn't go deeper than about like 6 or 7 spheres or something
Mhm.
logically. What I was going to ask is,
that shovel was scary. I was like,
yeah,
no.
shovel was scary. The mushroom at the beginning was scary, so you didn't check it immediately, but Nova did, and this was before we knew that Aga access was even like happening or required. It's like when you see a fetch quest behind a thing you don't have and might not have for a long time, but it takes a long time to go do it. That's just like such a feeling of dread.
Mhm. I actually, from watching like some better runners play, a lot of them are starting to skip it because you walk past that area a lot, and if you've got the prerequisites to get it, you might as well just get it when you can, rather than waste the time to like 2 minutes to check it at the start.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you there. I wait until I have boots to do bonk rocks and lumberjack check together. So let's see, what else were some of the interesting divergences here? A little bit, a little bit of orphaning checks for both of you. In some cases, maybe a forgotten locations, and other times just like not thinking it was worth it. So like, I don't think you ever did Spike Cave, which turned out to be Speed Booster. Despite being right next to it, like when you were leaving Hera, I think. But Nova got Speed Booster and chased it all around.
Yeah,
Literally.
I forgot why. I think didn't I go to Lower Norfair right after that?
Yeah.
You kind of went back and forth, and um, like we're fluting and kind of looking at your menu and going in and out of the portals and stuff, and eventually you went to lower to upper Norfair, which I think Norfair was completely empty, right?
Yeah,
Like top to bottom.
I think so. What I think there was a point when I was like, okay, I'll do Lower Norfair. It'll route around all the way back to the mountain, and then I think at some point I was like, I will chain early Turtle Rock without Ice Rod, and if I don't get it, then I'll do Hera, Tablet, Spike Cave, whatever.
By the way, your full browser window is showing on our restream here, so you might want to just end your stream. Or actually, it's a lag. It's delayed, right? So.
Yeah, this is what I was looking at 10 minutes ago.
Oh no! All right. Well, we might have to ask our restreamer to
No,
off. Anyways,
I've just had it. I've just had this up anyway, so now we get to watch it again.
Pretty late. And it was a kind of a long trolley seed. What other like free-form comments do y'all have to say about it? Like how you're feeling about how the tournament went for you, or anything about where we go from here?
I look forward to losing in bracket. It'll be great.
I
You're not.
don't know who
You're
you're racing.
good at both these games. You know a lot of the tricks, honestly. There were like very small things you could have criticized in this particular run, and it might have just been some of the orphan checks. And other than that, like you were routing pretty well. I really liked coming out of Meridia and being able to immediately use the flippers, for example.
Oh yeah, that was such a lucky one. So I've actually found that my completion times are honing in on a very narrow range. I always finish between 3 hours and 3:30, and usually around 3:20, and I just can't seem to consistently get it down. So regardless of the seed, like some of the better runners will finish it in 2:30, and I'll be there at 3:20, just consistent as ever.
Yeah, but there are also a lot of people, myself included, who don't often go under 3 hours who are going to be in this bracket stage. So plenty of chances for very reasonable matchup for you, especially since the way seeding will be broken down, like 2-1s paired with 2-0s, but then there's like SRL points have to do with it. So you've got a shot at it. It's not too nightmarish.
That's nice. The SRL points will save me from an early hard match, just getting wiped out.
Nova, your thoughts on this seed besides the trolley morph ball and whatnot?
I mean, more just broad strokes. This tournament was pretty fun. I didn't expect to win at all. Only won due to a technicality, so just because other opponent had to drop or whatever. But it was fun. I learned a little bit. If you could tell, I don't know much about Link to the Past.
Is that why you forgot about the King's Tomb until late, or?
I know I clicked the wrong button on my tracker.
That happened. I was like, I was curious what, like, because there was a during part of the race there was a time where your stream was really laggy
Oh yeah,
and
my
whatnot.
internet's pretty bad.
And I popped into your stream to see your tracker, to see what you've done, what you were
Oh,
tracking.
Yeah, the
And-
tracker that's totally on my overlay, right?
Yeah, that's. I want to look to see what items you had, to see like if we because it jumped over some items like we saw you go
didn't even
to
know Paradox, right? Yeah.
yeah, Paradox. You went to Paradox Cave and we saw only 2 items. And then you come out, you have a sword, and then you're like, oh, you have a sword magically. And then next thing we know, we see you have a we see you go into a dark room. I'm like, that's lamp. Where did he get a lamp? So I was, I popped in that, like, this was late until I realized, I'm like, wait a minute, I could just go to his stream and just look at his stream overlay to see if he had his tracker was there. And I'm like, oh, no tracker. So
Yeah. It's too much work because what I do is I use the full map tracker and emo tracker. And whenever I am likely to forget something, I always pin it, so it ends up moving the items around a bunch. But yeah, I clicked Pyramid Ledge, or I clicked King's Tomb instead of Pyramid Ledge to mark it off. And I look back at it later, I'm like, oh, I got that. Why didn't I click it? And I was like, oh, okay.
Okay, that makes it. That's what Cheese was saying. Is like you probably clicked it on accident or something.
Yeah, I'm not exactly the greatest at Link to the Past, or Super Metroid for that matter, but I have a lot more knowledge in Super Metroid, so it was just fun to play and get a couple seeds down. I guess lose to people on SRL. That's fun.
It is a very. I mean, I'm not good at Link to the Past. I can't do bomb jumps. Like the stuff you were doing, I'm like, I couldn't do if I tried. But it's interesting to watch, and I understand how the logic works to a good point.
Yeah.
So
I just basically look at the minor glitch page and I go down it and poke around. The wiki's actually really good about just teaching you. So all Link to the Past is besides hovering, it's all buffered inputs and pixel alignment. So as long as you just memorize a bunch of positions, then you can do every trick in the game.
That's a good way to summarize it. Thanks for that helpful mindset. There are certainly a few more tricks I want to put into my toolbox, especially if I intend to win any races in brackets.
Mm-hmm. It all adds up. All those little tricks will save you 10 minutes in 3 hours.
So, yeah, been long broadcast. We probably want to start wrapping it up. We're close to 4 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I think I already asked for final thoughts, but really final thoughts, just any going away shout outs.
Nope. Everybody have a good night.
All right, thank you for joining us, NDIAZ, and GG's on the win.
Yep, thanks.
I brought us into this, Cheese. You take us out.
Happy to. And Nova, did you have anything else? Otherwise, GG, and thanks for being on the stream.
Yeah, go follow the other runners. They're pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, follow everybody.
Yep, we got all those follow links in chat. So that concludes this match. This ends the tournament run for Nova, and it will continue the tournament run for NDIAZ into the bracket stage. The brackets will be coming up shortly. There are a couple more matches to wrap up in the next few days, and then once those are done, we'll be going to a best of 1 pairing in brackets, and then best of 3 finals after everyone has been matched up. And lastly, I'd like to thank our sponsor for this tournament, Rank 1. You can go to rank1.global to check out their site. It's got social media and community spaces for gamer and esports profiles. It's a way to kind of build your space, show off your favorite games and your accomplishments. Check them out at rank1.global. Big shout out. And of course, love all the help we've been getting from the comms, tracking, organizers, restreamers, etc. throughout the tournament. They've been putting on a lot of effort. Miss Metroid, Mind of Me, Tracy M, Fiesel, Kiku, just so many great organizers behind the scene have been helping out administrating this. So thank you so much. everyone here, have a good night and a good rest of your weekend. Tune back in for more rando action throughout this weekend, and we'll see you soon.
There's another race that will be on. Hold on 1 second. Tomorrow, there's 2 races actually with on at 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 2:20. First Breakjack versus 64 Link, and then you got another one at 8:10 p.m. versus Sinus on Hootie. Channel to be decided. Clicked on something wrong. It was great commentating with you again, Cheeseinator.
Well, HK, thanks for joining, and peace out here. So it's been wonderful having everyone on Speed Gaming 5 tonight, and we'll see you next time.
Yep. Enjoy your guys' night. Be safe.